tip with your little steak knife.
Well, they did pretty well on that road trip, especially finishing out strong against Carolina. A really good team after being on the road that long. That was impressive stuff from a Hillcats team that is getting healthy and seems to be gelling together pretty nicely.
And you have to wonder, we talk about that 2-week road trip, you're coming back today with no off day. We're playing on a Monday night. We never play on a Monday night. How do you think that's going to impact the way that this team performs?
It's definitely different. Like you said, they're used to having at least one buffer day after coming back home to regroup and then get ready to play the next day. But both these teams are being thrown right back into it. If there's any beneficiary of this, I would say it's Lynchburg, who are finally able to get back home. Although, like you said, they're not able to really soak it in and enjoy it too much. They're getting right back out on the diamond to start great series where we have a lot planned this week. It's going to be a great week of baseball here at the Bank of James Stadium.
Yeah, if you don't have your tickets yet for the rest of this week, you're going to want to get them right now. Lynchburg-Hillcats.com is the website. Thursday night, 4th of July, big fireworks show and Independence Day celebration. Friday night, an Independence Day patriotic cap in a style that Lynchburg wore a few seasons ago for their 4th of July cap. And then on Saturday, we'll have another fireworks show as well. And also, it's the Revenge of the 6th, July 6th. Star Wars night here at the ballpark. So bring out all of your other Star Wars fans and come enjoy a baseball game this Saturday night. Right now, though, let's toss it down to our in-house PA announcer, Steve Stillwell, to get you set for tonight's game between Lynchburg and Salem right here in the Lynchburg Hillcats Radio Network.
All right, fans, let's make some noise as we bring to the field your Lynchburg Hillcats. In right field, number 4, Wilfredo Antunez. In center field, number 8, Jason Jario. In left field, number 5, Tommy Hawk. At first base, number 24, Ralphie Velasquez. At second base, number 2, Juan Benjamin. At shortstop, number 6, Rafael Ramirez Jr. At third base, number 1, Jose Pastrano. Catching tonight, number 12, Robert Lopez. The designated hitter for your Hillcats, number 23, Luis Durango. And on the mound, number 41, Yorman Gomez. Managing your Hillcats tonight, number 39, Jordan Smith. Fans, at this time, we ask that you please rise and kindly remove your caps as we honor America with the singing of our national anthem tonight, performed by Tim Foose.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free? and the home of the brave.
Back inside Bank of the James Stadium as the Lynchburg Hillcats and the Salem Red Sox get set for this 6-game homestand over the 4th
Guys, I'm here,
of
my friends
July.
Aaron and
Jason Prill alongside Connor Young here this evening as for the Hillcats tonight, it'll be Yorman Gomez on the bump. He's 5-2 with a 3.63 ERA. A right-hander, 21 years old, 5'11" from Coro, Venezuela. He signed back in 2019. In his last outing, it was a decent outing, but I think he would have liked to have a little bit of a better showing. 4 2/3, 7 hits, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts, 3 earned runs. Connor, he's been up and down this season. June, arguably his worst month, and they want to get him back into shape.
Yeah, you go back to that game against Carolina, his last start, like you said, 3 earned runs on 7 hits. Kind of a miracle he's able to get out of that game with just 3 earned runs. 7 hits is tied for the most hits he's allowed in one start this season. And you're right, Gomez struggled in June compared to his first 2 months of the season. And judging by his month-by-month status, something I've noticed, one of the biggest outliers in June compared to May and April is a lack of unearned runs. In April and May, Gomez was helped out by 8 unearned runs. In June, all but 1 of his runs were earned. And I think we said that earlier in the season. There was a couple Hillcats pitchers that the difference between their earned runs and unearned runs was pretty shocking. And Gomez was one of them, especially in April. I believe he had 5 unearned runs out of the 10 earned runs, or the 5 of the runs he gave up were earned out of 10. There we go. So that's definitely a mark that you can't expect to continue to go throughout the season, and it hasn't. So maybe we've seen more of Yorman Gomez's real output being shown as the defense shores up behind him.
Well, I know the Hillcats are hoping that that's not the case, and they want him to return to his form back in May and April when both those months he had an ERA of under 3. First pitch to Nazan Zanatello, misses up high for ball 1, and that's how we get started here at the corner of Ford Avenue. 6:33, first pitch as Gomez has that slapped into right field, a base hit for Zanatello, who inches closer to 200 on the season. He's now about 5 ticks under with that base hit. And that's how he gets the party started with a leadoff single.
Yeah, Zanatello, the 8th ranked prospect in Boston's organization. We saw him last series. Although we didn't see him for all 6 games, or 5 even, as you'll see a lot of the top prospects on these Carolina League teams play. They usually have 5 on, 1 off. Zanatello was played a little bit more sparsely, but we've seen some of that bat-to-ball skills that we just saw in that liner.
First pitch to Antonio Anderson, fouled back to the screen for strike 1. Anderson batting a .157, 4 home runs, 22 RBIs. This is not a lineup that you're going to go home and write about. A lot of guys batting under 240. Only one guy actually hitting above it in the lineup today as that misses downstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike to Anderson. That's Brooks Brandon, and he's on deck.
Yeah, we didn't get a chance to see Brandon last series. He's a new addition to the Red Sox roster, and since being called up to the single A level, he's been hitting.
Popped up left field. Giving it a look is Tommy Hawk, and he'll watch it land out of play.
To your point, Jason, they just need guys that can hit. This lineup has been feeling it all season long. The rotation's been good. The starting pitching staff ranks within the top 5 of the Carolina League this season in several statistical categories. The offense just has struggled, especially since losing Miguel Blaze.
Throw back over toward first, nothing doing. Salem has the 4th worst batting average in the Carolina League at .220. An on-base percentage of .316, an OPS of .648. It's down near the bottom. The 1-2, fouled back to the screen, and Antonio Anderson will stay alive.
If I'm not mistaken, the team at the top of that batting average, league leaders, is the Lynchburg Hillcats as of right now.
That would be correct. They're at .255. 1 tick better than the Mudcats, who are at .254. Gomez pauses for the 1-2. The right-hander delivers. Topped off the top of the foot by Anderson. We'll try it again.
We've seen this from Anderson all season long. He's currently third in the Carolina League in walks drawn. He's got 47, one better than Jason Churio, who's one spot below him. He's been able to work good at-bats. Now, when it comes to driving the ball, that's where it's been a little bit lacking for Anderson, the 157 average, indicative of that.
Popped up left field. Hawk will watch it land on top of the clubhouse. So as you mentioned, he's putting up a battle. He's had 4 straight foul balls, 5 total in this at-bat for Anderson.
Doing a good job at eating pitches for Gomez, and this is what you want from your top-of-the-lineup guys.
Throw back over toward first. Nothing doing again, and Zonatello will stay put. Zonatello only has 1 stolen base on the season. So not really a threat to run from the leadoff spot for the Red Sox. Here's the 1-2. That's driven into center field. Churio will range over and make the easy grab for out number 1. That'll bring up Brooks Brandon, who, as you mentioned, he's done nothing but hit since he's arrived in the Carolina League. He's batting .328, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs for Brandon. This is his 17th game of the season. He did spend some time last year in Salem, only 6 games, and he batted .292. So he was hitting even last year in limited action for the Red Sox. So he lines that past the third baseman, Pastrana, and he moves Donatello into scoring position. So rich get richer as Brandon picks up another base hit.
Brandon, primarily a catcher playing first base today. Currently the number 21 ranked prospect in the Red Sox organization, and they've got a couple good catchers in that Red Sox farm system now. Kyle Teal played at UVA just 1 season ago. Now Brooks Brandon, yeah, he's been hitting ever since he made it back up to the Carolina League, and you see a perfectly placed line drive right there.
Nelly Taylor will take down low for ball 1, and that's a position that it is hard to get right. And if you can have 2 catchers that can contribute as prospects, not only is that setting your major league team up for future success, that's in there for a strike 1-1. It's also setting up your team for immediate success, because that's trade bait. How many teams are out there would love to get a young, unproven catcher in their system? There are so many that need that. Throw back behind the runner at second, as Gomez clearly worried about Zonatello. And you think about one of the teams that may benefit from it besides Boston is Baltimore. Samuel Basayo, I mean, he's stuck behind Adley Rutschman. But he's one of the best prospects, not just at the catching position, and in all of baseball. 1-1 in there for a strike, 1-2. We saw him a bit last year when he was with Delmarva. And he's excellent at the plate and solid behind the dish as well. And there's a lot of teams that, as we approach this trade deadline, that are going to be chomping at the bit to try and get a hold of some catching prospects. And Baltimore in the perfect position to wheel and deal some of their prospects, such as Basayo. 1-2 to Nelly Taylor. All the way to the backstop as he got under the legs of Lopez. Everybody will move up 90 feet on the wild pitch.
Puts Nelly Taylor in a dangerous spot. If you're the Lynchburg Hillcats, 2 runners in scoring position for Taylor. And you talk about a Hillcat killer. I think we've named a couple this season. Nishida for Kannapolis, but Nelly Taylor Jr. was just about the only hitter in the Salem order that did a number on the Hillcats last time they came to town.
Infield pulled in, the 2-2. Got him to chase a 94-mile-an-hour fastball up in the zone. First strikeout for Gomez. And there's 2 down. It's a big second out.
Really is. Makes it a lot tougher on Nathaniel Uton to try to get one of these runners home, if not both of them. Now with 2 down. So Gomez able to reach back and just challenge him with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball high in the zone.
Nathaniel Uton, 235, 5 home runs, 28 RBIs. 2 in scoring position as he somewhat offers at the first pitch for strike 1. Like he got fooled by the curveball by Gomez. Now back to the screen, strike 2. Gomez. He works fastball, changeup, cutter, curveball. 4-pitch repertoire. As 2-strike pitch on its way. Tipped right into the glove, and Gomez gets out of it. 2 get aboard, but none get home. As the right-hander escapes trouble in the first, we remain scoreless. As we enter the bottom half of the frame, the Hillcats will get their first trip to the plate right here on the Lynchburg Hillcats Radio Network.
Check out Creative Edge Design Incorporated for your signs, banners, and wrap services. We are a 3M certified graphics installation company backed by a 3M warranty, protecting your graphics against any cracking, fading, or peeling for over 10 years. Your graphics will continue to look exactly like they did on the day they were installed. Visit us at cedi.biz for more information. Creative Edge Designs, custom designs for you.
Are you a fan of fireworks or collecting sports memorabilia? Or maybe instead of the bar, you want to spend your nights at the ballpark? Whatever your passion, the Lynchburg Hillcats have a mini plan package for you. Make sure to secure your tickets for every Thirsty Thursday, Freebie Friday, or Fireworks Show Saturday with one of our dated mini plans. Craving more baseball? Sign up for our 30-game mini plan. Not sure what games you want to go to? The Hillcats offer undated mini plans as well. For more information and to purchase your 2024 mini plan, visit lynchburg-hillcats.com.
You're listening to the 30th anniversary season of Lynchburg Hillcats baseball.
Bottom 1, still scoreless here in Lynchburg. Tommy Hawk, Ralphie Velasquez, Jason Churio. 2 up for the Hillcats as it'll be Luis Cohen on the bump for Salem. He's 4-5 with a 3.86 ERA. Just over 56 innings, 45 strikeouts, 18 walks. The international free agent. He's been up and down this season. And as of late, especially in the month of June, a bit more down than we've seen this season.
Yeah, Cohen's had his struggles, much like Gomez at certain points this season. Unlike Gomez, Cohen is probably coming off his best outing of the season. He tossed a 5-inning shutout, which was eventually a win over Fredericksburg, where Salem, they only won 2 games against the Fred Nats in their last series, both of them 4-0 shutouts. So when they are winning, it's the pitching that's doing the work.
0-1 on Tommy Hawk. Hawk batting .278, a home run, 12 RBIs. As he grounds it over towards second, scooped up by De Leon and right into the glove of Brandon. Route number 1. Connor, go ahead and set the defense for us for Salem.
For Salem, they'll have McIlvaney behind the plate, the battery made of Cohen. Brandon will play first, De Leon second, Zanatello will do the duties at short, Antonio Anderson at third, Uton in right, Tucker in center, and Nelly Taylor Jr. in left field.
Ralphie Velasquez offers out a slider on the outside corner for strike 1. Velasquez has brought his home run total to 9. His average is pretty much leveled out at 260, though. He's got 43 RBIs on the year. And he skies that toward right field, not very deep, and hooking out a play for strike 2. But it was nice on that road trip to see a little bit of the power come back for Velasquez. It had been missing for quite some time and finally started to creep its way back into that bat while out on the road in Charleston and Carolina. 2-strike pitch to him from Cohen. Check swing, they appeal, And he did not go around, says Zach Hovick, the infield umpire. Larry Pettis calling the balls and strikes. The first time the Hillcats this season have seen this umpire pairing. Freshly off their move from the Florida League. The 0-2 fouled away. Something new to single A baseball this season is the umpires are getting rotated around every 2 months to different leagues. The 0-2. Velasquez offers at it outside. He's retired for out number 2. Hawk, Velasquez, Churio, Antunez, Benjamin, Ramirez, Lopez, Pastrano, and Durango. The 9 due up for the Hillcats in order, as Jason Churio will take his cuts. He's batting .266, 3 home runs, 47 RBIs. You might be wondering, well, why are the umpires rotating through? What's the purpose of that? In there for a strike 0-1. On the surface, you may think, well, it's just so the umpires don't start playing favorites with any teams. They get to see new faces, right? Any animosity that builds. So that's fouled away for strike 2. But it actually has to do with the Florida Complex League and them having the ABS system, the automatic balls and strikes. Right. So they want all the umpires at this level to get a taste of that. 2-strike pitch. Missed in tight. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Churio sold it well. And so the umpires are going from the Carolina League to the California League down to the Florida League. 1-2. Slow roller over toward third. Going to be a tough play for Anderson, and he's going to have a throw, but it's well late. Knocked down by Brandon. Good job just to keep that close. Churio had that beat with ease.
Yeah, that's the benefit of having a natural catcher at first base. As Brandon, an athletic sprawl to keep that ball in front of him. If it does leak behind him and get towards the Salem dugout, you could think Churio might have a chance at second, especially with his speed, which has impressed this season. Churio with 22 stolen bases on the year.
One of the best on the ball club is Churio, and Salem knows it as they toss over. Wilfredo Antunez, 5 home runs, 35 RBIs, and a .264 batting average. He's cooled off a little bit after a tearing start to June. Churio breaks. The pitch is out wide. A good pitch to throw on, but not in time as Churio swipes second, his 23rd of the season.
Yeah, that's something about Churio's game that I feel like we haven't talked about as much, or you just don't hear about. The top-ranked prospect, sure, he's a good hitter with a great eye, and he plays good defense out in the outfield, but he's a threat on the base paths every time he gets on.
Base hit here would most likely score him. Antunez looking for RBI number 36. See if Lynchburg can capitalize on a situation that Salem could not with a runner in scoring position. The 1-0 in the dirt, good block by McIlvaney.
Antunez was opportunistic in that way last game. He hit that 5th home run in Game 6 against Carolina, which really helped Lynchburg edge out a 4-2 win.
2-0 he's taking as it misses up high, 82 miles an hour from Cohen. 3-0. Well, he's starting to lose a little bit of his command. He didn't really have it in that at-bat against Velasquez, but he was able to get him to chase a couple times. A 3-0 taking all the way, ball 4. It might be one of those where you pass on Antunez to face the next guy in line, who's Juan Benjamin.
Yeah, at that point, you don't really want to give Antunez anything too tempting in a 3-0 count with the power he has. You'll take your chances with a free base, especially with Juan Benjamin, although Benjamin has been hitting the ball a lot better since he's gotten more consistent playing time. That average now up to 242 on the season. He also has 29 RBIs, not too bad of a mark. Could get 30 here.
Not bad at all for a guy who wasn't an everyday guy for the first month and a half of the season. That missed out wide, 1 ball, 2 strikes. For Benjamin, I mentioned he's batting .242. His OPS still a little low at .627, so a lot of singles. 1-0 misses downstairs, 2-0, and he also strikes out way more
Yeah.
than you would have liked. On the season, Benjamin with 58 strikeouts in 55 games. Second on the team behind Ralphie Velasquez, who has 62.
And a lot more playing time for Velasquez.
Exactly. Is that missed downstairs? 3 balls and no strikes, and Cohen has really lost command of everything. As in comes Donatello, and out comes McIlvaney. As the whole infield will now try to converse. Benjamin, in his last 10 games, he's only batting .243, but when you bring it back to 20, he's batting .338.
Yeah.
Which is really impressive. Which is why his average is up to .242. 3-0, probably taking all the way. He is, and it's a really delayed called strike by Larry Pettis. Benjamin was halfway up the line to first.
Yeah, that's borderline strike. I don't know why you'd wait so long to call that one a strike in that situation. Almost like he wanted Benjamin to have to make the long walk back.
Benjamin even paused.
Yeah.
The 3-1. He drives that to deep center field. Tucker will drift back, keeps backpedaling, and in front of the warning track will make the grab to win the inning. So Lynchburg matches Salem. They get 2 aboard and can't piece it together as we remain scoreless heading to the second right here on the Lynchburg Hillcats Radio Network.
Scientech Systems is your technology partner. Whether it's business class internet, phone and TV, or their world-class IT services, Scientech is here to manage your technology needs so you can focus on what you love to do. Visit Scientech.com for a free quote today.
Celebrate the history of America's pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Connect with events that shaped and changed the game and our country. And relive the careers of legends who have earned the greatest honor in sports. Our stories to tell, your memories to share. Plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org.
Alongside Connor Young, here's the voice of Lynchburg Hillcats baseball, Jason Prill.
Framey De Leon, Albert Feliz, and Daniel McIlvaney will be the 3-2 up to face Gomez as a busy week at the ballpark. Lynchburg-Hillcats.com. Get your tickets. Tonight, though, defenders of the diamond. The Hillcats wearing their specialty Marvel-themed jerseys. The Hulk cap featured on the front left chest and on the hat as well. The hat, I think, looks better than the jersey, if I'm being completely honest. But if you would have seen the jerseys from 2 years ago, you would understand how significant of an increase in quality these are in comparison to those. Those were disastrously ugly. They were deep purple with the Hulk's face just plastered into it as a breaking ball misses to De Leon in there for ball 1. As this season and last season, it's a blue base with green trimming on the sleeves and down the piping.
It's like a Y.
Yeah, a Y design. Very old school.
Yeah.
If we're really being honest with it. As it's 2-0 on De Leon.
I do think it's cooler when organizations incorporate their own logo into the Marvel idea instead of just copy and pasting like a Hulk face, like you said.
Reno out wide. And some of that had to do with just the timing of it. It's hard to go through an approval process to get the logo and all that stuff done. And I do like the Hulk Cat logo that's been developed as
cool.
The 92-mile-an-hour fastball finally finds the zone. It's essentially a cat as the Hulk in the Hillcats colors. And that might sound like the most basic definition you've ever heard of anything in your entire life. But I don't really know how much else to describe it. Payoff pitch to De Leon. Foul back to the screen. You a Marvel guy, Connor?
I don't know. It's tough to say. I used to watch the movies when they would come out, like when they first started 3 years ago, I would say. But recently, honestly, it's just been pretty tough to keep up with. They're just pumping them out over at Marvel these days.
It's kind of ridiculous how quickly they can make these movies. The payoff pitch, yet again, is popped up deep left field. Hawk now ranging toward the left field foul line. He'll reach up and make the grab for out number 1. Albert Feliz will step in. I was really big into the Marvel phase, kind of around the time that Endgame and Infinity War. I never got into it growing up. I'm not a superhero guy, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
And this is going to sound very stupid. I'm more of a sports guy.
Mm-hmm.
But you can be both, and there's nothing wrong with that. I just never was. As Albert Feliz takes a called strike, going one on a good curveball. But I really started getting into it late in my college experience and grew to like them and enjoy them. And then in 2020, when COVID hit, 0-1, missed out wide, 1-1, and I fell victim to it. I spent quite a lot of time working my way through the collection of Marvel movies because I had nothing else to do and watched pretty much all of them. 1-1 in there for a called strike, 1 and 2. I began to really appreciate the cultural value and significance that they had for our day and age, and I really understand why they're so popular.
Yeah.
They're fun to watch.
They are.
High energy, some cheesy comedy in there. The 1-2. Big swing and a miss. Another good off-speed pitch from Gomez. As Feliz is retired for out number 2.
Batting game, catcher, number 44,
Daniel McIlvaney. He's struggling at the plate this season, batting 186, a home run, 7 RBIs. McIlvaney behind the plate today, takes inside for ball 1.
You know, I said earlier when talking about playing on Monday and how that's unusual in the Carolina League or across all of minor league baseball, how the Hillcats might have an advantage playing at home. That's chopped the other way, just foul. I don't even know if that's true when you're playing the Salem Red Sox. Their home record is 18-21. They're bad at home. But on the road, they're 20-16. So they got reverse splits as far as the home road games go.
The 1-1, another curveball that this one misses up high, 2-1. That's interesting. Oftentimes, you see inflated numbers at home, but that ballpark is such a tough place to play on a regular basis. 2-1, in there for a strike, 2-2. I mean, it is cavernous as a ballpark, and if you're a team that can't hit, it's going to be tough for you to score runs.
Yeah, I think also for Salem, they'll find their singles, but the extra bases is where they're lacking, where maybe you might find some help at that ballpark with how deep the walls are. You could run a while if you hit the ball hard enough. They just don't do that often, and they could be penalized from that in some ways just because of the nature of their ballpark playing at home with this current roster, and maybe that's the reasoning for their lackluster home record, but for them it's good to get away from home, I guess, in some ways.
Payoff pitch. This is down and away for ball 4, so a 2-out base runner. Stanley Tucker. You know, Salem, they lead. Sorry, jumped the gun. They're second in the Carolina League in doubles. But triples, they're well behind the rest of their peers, and really their home runs aren't that bad either. They have 43 of them. That's grounded into right field, but most of that damage comes on the road. Scooped up by Antunes. And there's 2 aboard with 2 away.
Yeah, and the doubles, they're being carried by Lugo and Taylor. Lugo currently tied for first in the Carolina League in doubles with 21, and then Taylor tied for second with Churio with 19. So Lugo and Taylor, more Lugo than Taylor, you know, his average isn't in a great spot. He doesn't have a lot of home runs on the season, but he's hitting doubles. Those 2 guys definitely bolstering their team's numbers in that regard.
We remember Lugo defensively here.
Oof, yeah.
He was tough to watch. Last time Salem came to Bank of the James Stadium. That's bounced in there to Zonatello. He doesn't really have a natural position with this group of Red Sox. They had him at first base. They had him in right field. And I guess he's typically probably a third baseman or shortstop. That's where he looked most comfortable. But even then, plenty of mistakes. Throw back, try and catch McIlvaney.
Yeah, he's listed as an infielder. They played him a lot in the outfield, and I think that's where it was really apparent that he was not comfortable at all. But, yeah, Lugo just seems to be a man without a position as of right now.
Zonatello, 2 aboard, 2 away. Both runners reach with 2 outs in the inning. As that just barely missed off the outside edge, Lopez paused before throwing back to Gomez in hopes that the umpire would give a delayed strike. But it's ball 2. The righty goes with a breaking ball. All 3. 3-0. Wind not much to speak of right now. It's somewhat blowing toward left field, but nothing too strong. 3-0. We'll see if Zonatello gets the green light as he's taking all the way a fastball right down Main Street. 3-1. Now a good hitter's count. Zonatello, guy who does have some pop in that bat. He gets a hold of one. Can't just go right after him. They choose to do so. He grounds it up the middle. It's going to be a play at the plate as Churio comes up, and he'll double clutch and not fire. As McIlvaney will score without a throw. Tucker stops at second. Zonatello with the RBI base hit, and Salem takes the early 1-0 lead here in the second inning.
2 for 2 day already for Zonatello. He pounced on Gomez, ambush tactics in his first at-bat to lead off the game. A little bit of a longer at-bat where he draws things out. Gomez losing his control, and he's forced to pitch to Zonatello. And that might not be a wise move going forward in this series if Zonatello is going to continue to hit like this. 2 good line drives, or the other, I think it's a hard ground ball up the middle. Nonetheless, second drives in a run, the first of the game.
Another throw back. Ramirez really wasn't sure if he needed to go back to the bag, but Gomez threw anyway. Seems like Gomez today is really nervous about the base runners.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes you see guys do that when they're a little bit nervous about their stuff, where they just want a couple extra moments to breathe, take a second.
Right-hander, as it popped up into shallow right field on Tunez, will give way to Benjamin, the second baseman, who comes back onto the edge of the grass and makes the grab to end the inning. But Zonatello drives in an RBI as Salem now leads it 1-0. We head to the bottom half of the second right here on the Lynchburg Hillcats Radio Network.
The YMCA has been serving Lynchburg and the surrounding community for years. With 2 Central Virginia locations, the YMCA has plenty to offer for kids and adults alike. To join or check out one of the classes, camps, or programs offered by the Y, visit ymcacva.org or stop in at their downtown or Jamerson locations. The YMCA is a proud partner of Lynchburg Hillcats baseball.
Hey fans, are you looking to disconnect and enjoy a perfect getaway? Well, let me introduce you to Crabtree Falls Campground. With campsites right on the river, 4 rustic cabins, and bathrooms with hot water, Crabtree Falls Campground is your place to stay this summer. Located just an hour drive from Lynchburg, Crabtree Falls Campground is just a half-mile hike away from the tallest waterfall east of the Mississippi. Visit www.crabtreefallscampground.com or call them at 540-377-2066 to book your stay.
You're listening to Hillcats Baseball on the Lynchburg Hillcats Radio Network.
Rafael Ramirez Jr., Robert Lopez, Jose Pastrano, the 3-2 up for the Lynchburg Hulk Cats on Marvel's Defenders of the Diamond Night here at Bank of the James Stadium.
Leading off the
Luis Cohen, he had to work out of some trouble in that first inning. He surrendered 2 base runners. It was almost a spitting image of how Salem went through the top half of the first inning. We'll see if Lynchburg can match them again in the second. Salem now leading it 1-0. Ramirez batting a .188, now has 3 home runs. Swings through the first pitch for strike 1. The power's there. It's just the consistency we haven't seen yet from him. The 0-1 misses out wide. 1 ball, 1 strike.
For Cohen, against Lynchburg this season, he struggled, and majority of the starters on the Salem staff can say that. He's gone 8 innings, 9 hits, 6 earned runs total against Lynchburg.
Ramirez drives that to right field. Uten got turned around, and he'll watch it bounce in front of the wall. Ramirez, he'll round first and head into second, standing at the leadoff double. A good swing there by Ramirez. Uten took an awkward route. And Lynchburg gets a runner in scoring position early on in the second.
It's been good to get him back. You know, Lynchburg was dealing with some serious subtractions due to injury through their lineup in late May into June. Rafael Ramirez Jr. missed time, Tommy Hawk, Luis Durango, of course, who missed the most time out of the 3. But each of them have come back better, it seems, especially Rafael Ramirez Jr. I don't know if it's him getting more reps at his natural position in shortstop after Angel Hanau moved up to Lake County, or if it's just been getting some reps in the Carolina League. But we're starting to see, yeah, the power for sure, but also just better approaches at the plate.
It's a nice and easy swing there. That's a called strike to Robert Lopez. And that's what you want for a young guy. A lot of guys, especially if they know they have the pop, they're swinging for the fences every single time. But that one, he didn't try to do too much. He turned on it and drove it about 10 feet shy of the wall and cruised in with a double. And a double is more than a productive at-bat. That's what some of these young hitters have to learn. Ground ball over toward third. Ramirez will watch it and hold it second as the throw goes across the diamond to get Lopez.
Yeah, I think doubles might be the most underrated stat in baseball. It's so productive to start off an inning, in this case of Rafael Ramirez Jr. with a runner in scoring position right away. Never mind if there's runners on base, you're definitely driving in someone, unless it's very slow runner at first base. Doubles are great, and your point about Rafael Ramirez Jr. honing in his swing, not swinging for the fences constantly, brings me back to an interview that I had with him early on the pregame show, where he said, I even asked him about the power because it had been coming up more and more, and he said that's not something I'm necessarily focused on. I'm just focused on putting up good at-bats, and that's so good to hear from a young player like Ramirez.
Cole Nieto has worked hard with these Hillcats hitters to help them change their approach at the plate. That misses high for ball 2 to Jose Pastrano. And when you're dealing with young guys, that can be the hardest thing, is changing that mindset from I need to go up there and find power, get a hit, to no. You need to have a good at-bat.
Yeah.
2-1. You can have a productive out. We saw Angel Hanau do that almost every time he got to the plate.
Yep.
If he didn't get a hit, it was a productive out. He moved a guy over. He drove home a run on a sacrifice fly. As the 2-1 in there for strike 2 and 2. Or even, and dare I say, a good strikeout. A 7, 8, 9 pitch at bat where you're forcing the pitcher to go through everything, which, 1, exhausts him, and 2, gives the guys behind you a chance to see everything he's got. Foul tipped, and Pastrano will stay alive.
In some ways, I think that can even be harder to buy into for someone like Rafael Ramirez Jr., who has that pedigree, that potential, that expectation to a certain degree to be a game-changing player in this Cleveland organization.
2-2 in the dirt. Pastrano, he's putting up a good at-bat here, and that's something he does pretty well.
It is, and Pastrano's been really good through June. He's got a batting average of .260 through June, which is a monumental improvement when you look back at April and May, where he was batting at sometimes below the triple digits. But yeah, something clicked for him in June.
They're hoping he can continue that. They've been looking for production from their infield since losing Angel Hanau. The payoff pitch. It's popped out of play. And this is one of those productive at-bats. Even if it doesn't result in a run or a base hit or even getting on base, you're making the pitcher work. You're making Cohen throw a lot of pitches. There's only one down, and he's already at 32 pitches in the ballgame in the second inning. Payoff pitch. Out wide, ball 4. And Pastrana receives the second walk from the right-hander and will pass the baton to Luis Durango.
Not only has Pastrana been getting more base hits, and this has probably been something you could say of him even when he was struggling at the plate, and you kind of alluded to this, Jason. He does a good job of getting on. His walk-to-strikeout ratio is in a very good spot, and it really has been all season long. He will take pitchers deep into counts and get on via the walk, and now it's down to the 9-hitter, Luis Durango, who we love seeing in that 9 spot.
He is a sight for sore eyes in that 9-hole spot. When he was gone, there was no production at the bottom of the order.
Yeah. It's a classic case of just that second leadoff man.
And it's hard. A lot of teams will put maybe their catcher in that 9-hole spot. But if you design your lineup well, that position can be dangerous. As Cohen will step off and look Ramirez back to the bag. And Durango, one of those dangerous 9-hole hitters. He's another guy that you could probably even put in the leadoff spot with the speed that he has. But his approach to the plate is probably more suited for the 9-hole.
Yeah, the only thing holding Durango back from that is he doesn't get on too much via the walk, and the strikeouts are a little high, but in the 9 spot, you'll take it. Guy batting .273 in the 9-hole. I mean, Salem, when they look at their order, they got to be like, how deep is this offense?
He only has 7 extra base hits on the year, as that's tipped into the glove. 2 balls and a strike in 30 games. So you would really like to see Durango take that next step, too, in finding that gap power. He doesn't necessarily need to hit it to the wall, but finding gappers and then letting his speed do the rest of the work. Tipped into the glove again, 2 balls and 2 strikes. That is going to make a big difference in the trajectory of Durango's careers. If he can develop a gap swing.
With that speed, too.
That is a dangerous combination. The 2-2 from Cohen. As that misses out wide, full count. So another full count issued by Cohen.
I've loved Lynchburg's approach today. Sometimes the Hillcats can be a little bit more free swinging for my liking, and it works out for them sometimes. Well, they'll ambush a guy early in the count, get a base hit, but I really like making the pitcher work, and they're doing a great job of that.
The 3-2, yet again. Durango swings and chops it foul to stay alive.
Almost everything to Durango this at-bat has been away. They really don't want to come inside against Luis Durango. So if you key in on that, if you're Durango or other guys in this lineup, if they continue to go that way, start shooting balls the other way.
We haven't seen any Hillcat try to do that yet. The payoff. Ground ball up the middle. This could be 2. The shortstop, Zanatello, will take it himself to second. Back to first. It pulled Brandon's foot off the bag. I don't know if they would have had Durango in the first place. As runners at the corners with 2 down as Pastrana is retired on the base pass. 6 unassisted fielder's choice.
Speed kills. Luis Durango, one of the fastest guys on this team, if not the fastest guy on this team, as pitching coach Juan Rivera will head out to talk to Cohen. You know, you look at pretty much just about every guy in this lineup besides Durango. Maybe Tommy Hawk and Jason Turi will have something to say about that, but that's probably a double play that ends the inning.
It really probably should have been. Yes, the throw was a little offline and might have pulled Brandon's foot off the bag, but anybody else besides Durango, and that's what makes speed so deadly.
Yeah, part of the reason why I think the throw's offline there is because he knows he needs to really get ready to throw that ball down. Like, he might be thinking he has a split second longer on that delivery because he normally would, but he sees Durango's a half a step from the bag at that point just about, and really got to zing it in there. And in doing so, it made it an inaccurate throw to the first baseman, Brandon. Tommy Hawk will now hit with runners on the corner. Tommy Hawk, 18 games straight getting on base. He's got a 6-game hit streak, but then an 18-game on base streak, which is the longest in the Cleveland Guardians farm system.
Throw back to first. A good pick by Brandon as that fell well short. I wonder if that was part of the conversation. Is you have Durango at first now and a runner who has speed at third. And the Hillcats are known to institute some form of double steal. What are you going to do to keep Durango honest at first and prevent that runner from third from coming home? Durango takes off. It's a pitch out. The throw down is not nearly in time, but it was a good throw. And it skirts away from the catcher on the throw back. Down to third goes Durango. That sails into left field. Durango, he's going to try to come home. The double clutch from Taylor, and that goes off of Southpaw's belly for a 2-run double steal. Get Southpaw a first aid kit.
That throw, literally the second it left his hand, I knew had absolutely no chance. He skied that ball by about 5 feet, and that's being generous. Southpaw wears it in his giant gut.
Let's see, it's a 2-6-2-7 mascot. I think it's how you can score that at home.
I think it's the only way you can score that.
You got to get Southpaw in there somewhere.
That's the brand of baseball Jordan Smith loves, right? Get that double steal going and then just let chaos ensue. Make them make a play.
And they did not. Lynchburg now leads it 2-1. That was the epitome of single-A baseball. Just errant throws all over the place. There were probably, 2 errors on that?
Yeah, somewhere. Again, I've said this multiple times this season, but another instance where I am glad I'm not the scorer of this ball game. I would be lost.
That is a tough one to figure out as Hawk took an awkward swing through it. And the inning is over. We'll try to get you the official ruling when we come back on the Lynchburg Hillcats Radio Network.
Wondering how to buy tickets to minor league baseball games? Look no further than the Bally Live app. Download Bally Live today and you can buy tickets to your favorite minor league baseball games and watch in person. Can't make it to the ballpark? We got you. Watch every minor league baseball game for free on the Bally Live app all season long. Pick your favorite team, track stats, chat with friends, and earn rewards in the game center. Download Bally Live from the app or Play Store today.
The Battle of 460 returns as the Lynchburg Hillcats face off against the Salem Red Sox July 1st through the 6th at Bank of the James Stadium. Join us for Independence Day celebration on Thursday with the biggest fireworks show in the Hill City. This year, we'll be honoring the historic Bedford boys with specialty jerseys. Come back again on Friday as we give away a Hillcats patriotic cap. Then on Saturday, we'll turn our attention to a galaxy far, far away with the Revenge of the Sixth. Get your tickets today at lynchburg-hillcats.com.
You're listening to the 30th anniversary season of Lynchburg Hillcats baseball.
So they have ruled 2 errors on that double steal. Durango gets credited with the stolen base of second. Rafael Ramirez, he comes home on a throwing error by the shortstop Nazan Zanatello. And then Durango on that goes down to third. The throwing error by the catcher that went into left field brings the second run across. And the errant throw by the left fielder Taylor that hits southpaw, essentially in the scorebook, does not exist. They probably would not have had Durango even if it was a good throw. It looked like Taylor tried 3 times to get rid of that baseball and just could not get it out of his glove.
And he ended up catapulting it. I don't think Rafael Ramirez Jr. would have been safe with a good throw from Zanatello either. Now, that's a tough play for the shortstop to make. Sure, if it's a good throw, he probably gets him. But you really got to rush and throw a strike down to home plate. Wasn't able to. The Hillcats lead at 2-1.
Well, it was essentially a pitch out of sorts, as that's chopped foul for strike 2. It was up and away from Tommy Hawk, which gave McElveny a perfect spot to hop up out of his crouch and throw down. It was not going to be in time to get Durango because he had a great jump. The throw back was just wide. As a big swing and a miss by Brandon. There's one down.
Yeah, for me, I get it. There's 2 outs. You want to end the inning on the base paths by getting Luis Durango, but I think you're better off just eating that throw pretty much every single time. It's just too risky.
Well, it's one of those where maybe they designed that, and it's up to Zanatello to deliver a strike toward home. That misses out wide to Nelly Taylor for ball 1. I mean, if you're a coach, you can reasonably expect your shortstop to make that throw from second base to home and at least put it in a reasonable spot. So that missed out wide, 2-0.
Yeah, I think where I come around to the idea a little bit more is if you have that shortstop darting into the infield, just to make that throw a little bit quicker and get that ball in his glove a little bit sooner. When you're doing something like that and you're really trying to get the guy at home, you don't really care about the guy at second. Okay, I'm in there. But if he has to make that throw all the way from second base after trying to put a tag on, which I don't know if he even got to that point in that last play, I think it's a pretty difficult situation to put yourself in, especially when you're risking a run in doing so.
And I think the reason Ramirez took such a late break from third was because he was expecting Zanatello to charge in on that baseball. He was waiting to see if he was going to play back, and then when he realized he did, that's when he took off. Back-to-back strikeouts as Gomez goes up the ladder for strikeout number 2 of the inning. It's 5th of the day.
Yeah, it's good to see Gomez get that strikeout pitch working. He has struck out at least 5 in his last 3 outings. 6 on June 10th, or 20th, excuse me, against Charleston. So he's been getting 5, 6 strikeouts an outing through most of June and especially in May. It's good to see him get to that number already. He does seem like he's locked in a little bit after some sketchy innings to start the game in innings 1 and 2, where there's too much traffic for Gomez's liking, I'd imagine.
Well, it's nice that he can pitch with a clean base path with 2 down. Newton now even in the count 1-1 as he took a unhealthy swing. Had to step out and regroup. The 1-1 to the left-handed hitter is down and in. 2 balls and a strike.
Newton and Taylor both playing the corner outfield positions. They look pretty similar to me. Lankier players with some pop as well. You know, you talk about teams having types, Lynchburg liking the middle infielders. This is grounded to Benjamin.
Should end the inning, and it does. 4-3 putout. As Lynchburg comes to bat, they lead it 2-1 right here on the Lynchburg Hillcats Radio Network.
Lynchburg Hillcats are ready for a summer of fun with a fresh slate of weekly promotions for you and your family to enjoy. Every Tuesday, get a free ticket to the next Tuesday home game as part of our 2 for Tuesday promotion. Wednesday is Weenie Wednesday with hot dog deals each week, and Thursday we'll bring back our traditional Thirsty Thursday with drink specials all night long. On Friday, join us for Freebie Friday for a new giveaway each week. We'll have fireworks every Saturday night, and kids can eat free each Sunday during the season. Get your tickets today at lynchburg-hillcats.com.
This summer, we're going from minor league baseball to major fun. Whether you're just stopping by or looking for that Grand Slam getaway, Wyndham rewards everyone. Start earning points on your next qualified by Wyndham hotel stay and redeem them for minor league baseball tickets and experiences all summer long. Not a Wyndham Rewards member? Join for free at wyndhamrewards.com. Restrictions apply. Visit wyndhamrewards.com for more details.
Alongside Connor Young, here's the voice of Lynchburg Hillcats baseball, Jason Prill.
Luis Cohen back out there for his 3rd inning of work. After 2 runs came home to take the lead back for Lynchburg. In the bottom half of the 2nd inning, they lead it 2-1. Though Salem is out hitting the Hillcats. As that throw from McElvaney went deep into the infield there. De Leon, who had to back up the throw, made the play, and that's not a good sign after McElvaney already sailed one into left field down the third base line.
Yeah, Salem as a whole have been sailing some throws.
Sometimes you see that when it gets humid. That's fouled away for strike one. The ball just hangs up in the air a little bit longer. But it's not that humid today. It's actually a beautiful day for baseball.
It's great.
Low 80s, high 70s. The 0-1 missed out wide, 1 ball, 1 strike. And it's not raining, so you don't have the wet baseball theory.
Yeah, I think that was a case of rushing and trying to throw an absolute dart.
Well, you think about last inning, as Velasquez takes a called strike on the inside edge. He's disagreeing, 1-2. But the inning could have been over. Zonatello, he tried to do an unassisted, or not an unassisted, but a 6-3 double play, and fired it high to first. It pulled the first baseman's foot off the bag. The 1-2 fouled away. So the throws from Salem today have left much to be desired if you're a Red Sox fan. Here's the 2-strike pitch. Scooped into left field. Taylor, ranging over toward the line, will leap and make the grab in fair territory for out number 1.
We'll bring up Jason Churio, who's 1 for 1 with a stolen base as well, number 23 on this season. Churio, it's been a while since he got in the hit column. He had offers in his last 2 contests. Back half of that series against Carolina, both Ralphie and Churio really didn't offer that much at the dish. It was the guys down the order that picked up the slack, and that's great to see for Lynchburg. That's been a struggle at times, is finding that consistent production down the order.
Yeah, it was the bottom third that did much of the damage, as that missed downstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. And it really wasn't by hitting. Yes, they got the double from Rafael Ramirez, but it was the base running then that did the rest of the work. 2-0 to Churio. This is below the knees, 3 balls and no strikes. Churio singled in his first trip to the plate. Little slow dribbler up the third baseline. All 4. 4 pitches, 4 balls, and Churio reaches base for the second time today.
Yeah, I think if you're Lynchburg, you got to have a pretty tempered, passive approach at the plate. Not passive in a timid or scared way, but you got to prove, or make Cohen prove, rather, that he can throw strikes to you. Churio does a great job of it there, and Antunez is a guy who I don't think does that a lot, but did in the bottom of the first where he drew a walk. He was patient. He's a guy that likes to go early in counts. Against Cohen right now, you got to make sure he's working.
Runner takes off, the pitch is up and away, the throw down. This one better, but still not in time, as Churio with his second stolen base of the day. He's now got 24 in the season. And that was another good pitch for McElvaney to throw down on. And once again, it sailed a little bit on him. If he put that on the line, they probably had Churio. Antunez takes to the opposite field. Taylor ranging back, hustling back, leaps, and made the grab as he crashed into the wall. They throw back to second to try and get Churio, who was well off the bag. He's in safely. A good play by Taylor, as he had to run a long way and leap to make the catch. There's 2 down. That robbed extra bases away from Antunez. But a nice approach to go the opposite way by Antunez.
Yeah, it was. And that's a great grab by Taylor out in left. And this is a game where you got to be happy if you're the Red Sox you don't have Lugo out in the outfield. But seriously, that's the difference that a good outfielder can make. That's a run on the board. And Antunez is probably heading for 2, if not 3. But Nelly Taylor saves a run and potentially even more damage.
Well, you talked about it the other inning. The Hillcats maybe need to look at going the opposite direction,
right,
with their plate appearances. As Benjamin takes a strike, 1-1, and We saw it there. And even Velasquez went to left field as Benjamin pops it up left field side again, and this one will land out of play for strike 2. So maybe a concerted effort to send the ball toward left field from the left-handed hitting Hillcats.
Yeah, everything has been away from the lefties, the Hillcats. That pitch again on the outside half, this time in the strike zone.
This feels like a pitcher that, because he works so much away, you almost wish you had a right-hander in the lineup that can just turn on one. The 1-2 is that missed well outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And typically, when you see a right-hander on the mound, you don't think, well, let's put a right-hander in the lineup. But, I mean, he's throwing a heavy dosage of sliders and changeups that are just going wide toward that right-handed hitter's batter's box. 2-2. Down and away to the left-handed hitter, full count. And Benjamin's back into the AB. And so with this pitching approach, now maybe if you had a right-hander, that slider, he'd readjust and try to dip it down and away rather than wrap it around the back door. But the way he's pitching right now and painting that outside half, look for a right-hander to do exactly what Benjamin did there and put it through the left side. The throw is high again by Taylor. That allows the run to score. Benjamin down toward third as Taylor doesn't know his own strength. Aggressive base running again for Lynchburg pays off. Churio scores on the RBI single. And Benjamin down to third on the air.
It's an identical throw. Back at home from Taylor once again. Way wide, not close.
Southpaw's having flashbacks.
Southpaw was probably ducking. So he saw that ball go out of the hand of Taylor. But yeah, again, 5 feet plus over the head of the catcher, McElvaney.
This one looked a little bit closer, at least playable. But still, McElvaney went full extension to try and leap and make the catch and couldn't come down with it. Rafael Ramirez Jr. with a runner on third and 2 down. He had a double that kicked off the second inning. Lynchburg now leads at 3-1. Ramirez loved to pick up his 12th RBI, but definitely a concerted effort by Lynchburg to go the opposite way. Ramirez behind that one for strike 2. Every hitter in this inning has taken it to left field, which is a good sight for Cole Nieto and that hitting staff. As Ramirez tried to go opposite, popped it up right at home plate. McElvaney will make the grab, and the inning comes to a close. So Lynchburg puts another run on the board as more aggressive base running and bad throws by Salem lets Lynchburg take a 3-1 lead right here on the Lynchburg Hillcats Radio Network.
There's a weekend in July where the baseball world revolves around a village in upstate New York. Hall of Fame induction weekend in Cooperstown is an unforgettable experience full of family-friendly activities and memorable moments. Make your plans today for July 19th through the 22nd for the induction of Adrian Beltre, Todd Helton, Jim Leland, and Joe Maurer, the class of 2024. Visit baseballhall.org today for the entire schedule. See you in Cooperstown.
You've probably heard the old saying, the best things in life are free. But do you believe it? The Lynchburg Hillcats want to make sure you and your kids do. Sign your kids up for Southpaw's free Kids Club and experience the best free activity your money can't buy. All Kids Club members receive complimentary tickets to 5 designated Kids Club games, Virginia 529 Fun Zone passes for the whole season, and exclusive autograph sessions with players. Kids 12 and under can sign up at lynchburg-hillcats.com to activate their Kids Club membership today.
It's time for a quick check of the Carolina League scoreboard. Back inside Bank of the James Stadium, here's Jason Prill.
Let's take a look around the Carolina League. Every game has gotten underway at this point. Carolina They're down east at Granger Stadium, and they trail 2-0 to the Wood Ducks. They're already in the top of the 5th. They got started at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, just like we did here in Lynchburg, and they're already through 4 innings of play down at Granger Stadium. Kannapolis and Fayetteville, man, it may be 4th of July week, but the fireworks have already started for the Cannonballers and the Woodpeckers. 5-4, 9 runs between the two teams through just 3 innings. Kannapolis on top by 1 run. Charleston and Myrtle Beach, a much lower scoring affair so far, 1-0. The River Dogs out in front on the road. Then Delmarva and Fredericksburg, 1-0. Fredericksburg on top at home over the current top-ranked Delmarva Shorebirds. According to the second half standings, who thought we'd say that in 2024? Augusta and Columbia. Augusta, 2-0 advantage on the road against the Fireflies. Back here in Lynchburg, Yorman Gomez will head out for his 4th inning. And Gomez really put things together 1 inning ago in the top of the 3rd. A healthy hack from Framey De Leon whiffs. Gomez will get back into the count with his first strike. It's now 2-1. But Gomez last inning, 2 strikeouts, and then a 4-3 putout to end the inning. His first clean frame so far in his first start back at the Bank of the James Stadium in 2 weeks. To center field, make it left field as it continues to tail and into the glove of Tommy Hawk for the first out of the 4th inning. It's an F7 for Framey De Leon, the 2nd of the game. Bring up Albert Feliz. Feliz, he's got some power, and there's not a lot of guys that you can say that for in the Salem lineup. 1 game ago, he went 1 for 3 with a home run. He sends one up the middle, stings it in between Juan Benjamin and Rafael Ramirez Jr. as the string of retired batters will end at 6 for Yorman Gomez. Albert Feliz puts an end to it with a single. Salem, they've been able to piece together their fair share of base knocks. Stringing them together or pushing runners across has been much more difficult for Liam Carroll's club. Daniel McIlvaney, he came around to score the lone run of the game so far for Salem. He drew a walk, the first and only walk so far issued by Gomez. Stanley Tucker would move him over. Zanatello would score him. He works ahead 1-0 in the count against Yorman Gomez, the righty. Once again, up the middle. Falling fast. Churio lays out and gets it on a scoop. Back-to-back singles for the Red Sox. Looked like Churio might have a chance catching that ball before it hit the turf. Bounces just a couple inches in front of him. Good effort from Churio to keep the ball in front, because he did lay out a decent amount for that ball. When you see that, the worry is if it gets down, does it get past the outfielder? In which case, you would see Albert Feliz make it up to third, if not score. So Churio doing a good job of keeping it in front. First pitch to Stanley Tucker is popped straight up. Lopez to the backstop. Out of play for strike 1. Tucker 1 for 1. He had a single in the bottom of the top of the 2nd, excuse me. 7, 8, 9 for Salem have all gotten on base. Feliz with a single, McIlvaney with a walk, and now a single. Stanley Tucker with a base hit as well. So the bottom of the order is offering some help offensively for the Red Sox. Pitch number 63 for Yorman Gomez outside. 85 miles an hour. Evens up the count at 1. Gomez sports 4-pitch mix. This is lined in between the shortstop and third baseman, Rafael Ramirez Jr. and Pastrano can't make a play on it. Station to station for Salem. A trio of singles. Loads the bases for the lone hitter, or one of 3 hitters, excuse me, in this lineup that Gomez has not been able to get out yet. Nazan Zanatello, 2 for 2 with an RBI. Gomez running into some trouble after his best inning of the outing in the top of the third, where he breezed through the 3, 4, and 5 hitters. Now faced with some trouble. Zanatello first pitch swinging. Backhanding is Rafael Ramirez Jr., but it's under his glove. Tommy Hawk fires to second, throws behind the runner and gets him. Tommy Hawk heads up play, not to auto throw to home, which you'll see a lot of left fielders do in that situation to try to make a play at the plate that probably isn't there. Instead, he looks to second, where Stanley Tucker is lackadaisically taking an aggressive lead, and Tommy Hawk gets him just in time for the second out of the inning. That helps out Gomez a lot. For Zanatello, it's another RBI, his second of the game, as the aggressive approach for Salem will continue, this time into right field. Lasered up the middle once again. Seems like the Red Sox are picking up on something in Gomez's delivery that they weren't earlier, because they're sitting dead red in one spot and getting the pitch they're expecting every single time. They're shooting line drives all across the outfield, and Tony Arnold, I think he senses something might be up. He's going to head out and talk to Yorman Gomez, try to settle him down and get back to that third inning form. And that's now 5 singles in a row for Salem. It's 9 hits for the Red Sox as well. The most hits Gomez has given up in a single outing this season. He's not a huge strikeout guy, although as we talked about earlier in this game, he has been sitting around 5 to 6 strikeouts a game pretty consistently. So he will rely on contact to help him out here and there, but not this type of contact. It's been loud. Sure, all singles, but they've been squared up, every single one of them. Brooks Brannon will step into the right side. 1 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout. He was 0 for 4 in Game 6 against the Fred Nats on Sunday. This gets away from Lopez and kicks all the way to the top step of the Hillcats dugout, where Lopez claims that I got stuck under the netting. Said he'll retrieve the ball himself, but not before Anderson and Zanatello move up 90 feet, both now in scoring position. It's the second wild pitch we've seen from Gomez in this outing. Both came with Zanatello on base. Brooks Brannon batting .333 now after the 1 for 2 day to this point, and Gomez doesn't want any part of him. He misses outside. Count goes to 2-0. 2 down, 2 already across, and 2 in scoring position for the Salem Red Sox. They've tied this up at 3-3. 2-0 swatted right into the chest of Lopez, and fortunately for Lopez, it might have even landed a little lower. He's slow to get up. Jordan Smith will talk things over with his backstop. Home plate umpire Larry Pettis will give him some time to breathe. Yuka Ogata will join Jordan Smith in talking with Lopez, who's pointing to his rib cage, so it looks like it did get him in the chest area. Gomez, his pitch count up to 69 pitches now. Just 3 2/3 through this contest. Much like the Hillcats have been able to do against Cohen on the other end, Salem's been able to force Gomez to spend a lot of pitches, and that's going to have a big impact on his life in this game. Salem comes into Lynchburg, losing 3 straight to the Fred Nats as Lopez Gets back up to his feet, gets the all clear from Jordan Smith and Yuka Ogata. Round of applause across the concourse here at the Bank of the James Stadium, where it is a fantastic day. It's been great all evening long. The 2-1 to Brooks Brannon. Low and picked from Lopez. Elects to go with the glove rather than the body there. Three-one count. Gomez seems to be losing command a bit, as this fourth inning has not been pretty for the right-hander from Coro, Venezuela. The 3-1 squib to Velasquez. That was knuckling. Velasquez almost not able to watch it into his glove. Makes a last-second adjustment to do it. He'll flip to Gomez to end the inning, but not before Salem strikes for two. We're tied up 3-3.
Hey Hillcats fans, has your big bank just closed its doors? Come on over to Bank of the James. We make banking better in just 3 easy steps. First, stop by Bank of the James to open your account. Second, bring your current checking statement so we can help you with recurring transactions. And third, enjoy banking the way it should be. Why Bank of the James? We're your strong, local bank, and we're committed to you. Putting community first for 24 years. Come on over to Bank of the James.
Are you a fan of fireworks or collecting sports memorabilia? Or maybe instead of the bar, you want to spend your nights at the ballpark? Whatever your passion, the Lynchburg Hillcats have a mini-plan package for you. Make sure to secure your tickets for every Thirsty Thursday, Freebie Friday, or Fireworks Show Saturday with one of our dated mini plans. Craving more baseball? Sign up for our 30-game mini plan. Not sure what games you want to go to? The Hillcats offer undated mini plans as well. For more information and to purchase your 2024 mini plan, visit lynchburg-hillcats.com.
Back inside Bank of the James Stadium for the middle innings, here's Connor Young.
Liam Carroll will go to the bullpen. Take on the bottom of the fourth, as it'll be Nathaniel Cruz into the game for Salem. On the season, he holds an ERA of 4.76, a win-loss record of 4-3. WHIP of 166, and opposing batters have a 278 average against him. He really struggled earlier in the season. His April was one to forget. He made a handful of appearances for Salem, but he held an 8.10 ERA through 7 appearances in the first month of the season. He's settled down since then, sporting a really good May. Through 6 appearances, he held an ERA just around 2. His June, a little bit worse than his May, his May, excuse me, but still much an improvement compared to his first month of 2024. His last outing, he went 1 inning, scoreless, no hits, no walks, 1 strikeout against Fredericksburg. Robert Lopez will greet him into the game. Lopez will spit on a pitch that just finds the outside corner, according to home plate umpire Pettis. Lopez clearly didn't agree. Count moves to 1-1. Lopez inside out swing. Shoots it the opposite way and out of play for strike 2. Lopez will call time. Interesting stat about Robert Lopez. He has a base hit in every single series Lynchburg has played this year. That consistency is pretty impressive for the catcher, as he's going to have to look out. 95 miles an hour under the shoulder. So he'll dart the hands up, and that pitch will narrowly miss his elbow guard. You could tell Cruz really wound up, reached back, and let one fly. The top of his register at 95 miles an hour. The 2-2 goes off speed. Misses upstairs as Lopez works a full count. A good at-bat from the catcher. We'll go over Cohen's numbers in just a moment. But first, the 3-2 swung on and missed by Robert Lopez. As Cruz comes into the game, and sets down the first Hillcat he's faced with on strikes. One down now in the bottom of the fourth. For Cohen, he goes 3 innings, 3 hits, 3 runs, just 1 of them earned, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. His ERA doesn't move all that much. Go to 3.79 on the season as Pastrana looks to lay down a bunt. Third baseman Anderson playing, as we've seen, so many opposing teams coming to the Bank of the James Stadium and do against this lefty-heavy Lynchburg lineup and play just about where the shortstop lies. Usually, Pastrana does what I always say I would like to see a Hillcat try to do and lay down a bunt down that third base line on the first pitch. You'd think he'll be swinging away from here on out. The 0-1 upstairs evens it up at 1-1 because on that bunt attempt there, really what you're looking to do is catch him off guard. If they know it's coming, it's far less effective. It's a 1-1 count to Pastrana. Right down the chute. Cruz seems to have a feel for the strike zone. Luis Cohen, especially down the stretch, definitely lost that. The 1-2. Swing and a miss again. Much like Cohen, Cruz still pounding the outside part of the strike zone. That one was on the black at 92. Pastrana knew it was close enough to have to offer at, but his offering wasn't that convincing. 2 up, 2 down. Both strikeouts for the reliever. Luis Durango reached on a fielder's choice, would come around to score on the first and third steal. He'll also attempt to lay down a bunt, but pitch inside will be just about impossible to square up. Be bunting that off the handle. Durango bats .270 on the season. The 1-0 offer. Inside again, upstairs at 94. Fastball this time, misses. 2-0 count to Durango. Durango hasn't seen the same consistent playing time he was getting prior to his injury since coming back off the injured list. We've already seen that speed has not left him. Durango scooches out to the back of the box. Tries to sell 86-mile-an-hour breaking ball inside. Pettis not buying. It'll be a 2-1 count with 2 down. 3-3 scoreline here between the Hillcats and the Red Sox. Goes back to the soft stuff again, misses away. 3-1 count to Durango, who's shown some patience at the dish after his first pitch bunt offer, which he quickly turned around. 3-1 inside once again. Delayed strike call from Pettis. Durango stuck around enough. He probably thought he might have found the zone. Did Cruz. And he did. The count now full. Skied into shallow right. Retreating back as a second baseman, De Leon. He'll make the two-handed grab to end the inning. Lynchburg struggled with the righty reliever for Salem as Luis Cohen doesn't take on the fourth inning. Instead, it's Nathaniel Cruz, and he does the job. We'll see if Yorman Gomez will get the next inning of work as the Hillcats are tied with the Salem Red Sox 3-3 through 4.
The Virginia Commonwealth Games are back this summer in Lynchburg, Virginia, on the campus of Liberty University. Be a part of the tailgate party and opening ceremonies kickoff celebration. For more information, visit commonwealthgames.org.
Tonight's broadcast is directed and produced by Virch. Virch elevates your broadcast by supplementing your production staff with experienced switchers and operators. The graphics you're seeing on our broadcast tonight are powered by Virch's all-new graphics engine, offering advanced stats and personalized graphics on a budget. Visit www.virch.co to give your fans the next-gen viewing experience.
You're listening to Hillcats Baseball on the Lynchburg Hillcats Radio Network.
Gomez will get the go-ahead from Jordan Smith. He'll head out for the top of the fifth inning. You know, looking at the score, 3-3 deadlock between these Commonwealth rivals. Salem with 9 hits compared to just Lynchburg's 3. However, what looms large for Salem is the 3 errors compared to Lynchburg's 1, and those 3 errors, every single one of them impactful. For Gomez, he'll head out and have to deal with Nelly Taylor, Nathaniel Uten, and Framey De Leon. 4, 5, 6. Though the heart of the order, for whatever reason, has been the only part of the Salem lineup that hasn't had success against Gomez today. Taylor, Uten, and De Leon all 0 for 2. 3 strikeouts between the trio as well. First pitch to Taylor. Misses away.
It looks like there may be an arm ready in the Hillcats bullpen if Gomez starts to run into trouble here in the 5th inning. They'd like to get him through a full 5, but after that last inning, you have to wonder how much more gas he has left in the tank.
He's at 73 pitches now. Gomez certainly a guy who can go deep into games. He's an innings eater for Jordan Smith. So he'll go back outside for ball 2. Taylor 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts against Gomez today. The 2-1 to the right-hander. Left-hander, excuse me. This time he goes inside, mixing up horizontal directions. However, he can't find the money either way. It'll be a 3-1 count to the 4-hitter. Squares up the outside corner with a 90-mile-an-hour fastball down for strike 2. Brings it full for Nelly Taylor Jr. The full count to the 4-hitter for the Salem Red Sox is popped up. We'll do it again. Nelly Taylor Jr. He was a guy, last time Salem came to town, Lynchburg had a really tough time getting out. But not only did Lynchburg have a tough time getting him out, Nelly Taylor Jr. was hitting with runners in scoring position. Felt like he was fueling the majority of Salem's offense. He'll pop it up again in foul territory out of play. So we'll have to restart the 3-2. Gomez, at this point in the game, not what you're looking for.
Well, not only that, he was hitting with runners in scoring position, but he was also hitting in clutch time.
Yeah.
He had 2 home runs in that series. Both of them came late in the game to tie the game up. And then in one of those nights when they were in extra innings, he delivered what would end up being a huge RBI double in the 11th inning. And so he was not just timely, or not just, rather, in terms of runners in scoring position, he was timely in terms of time in the game.
Gomez gets him looking this time. It's a trio of strikeouts for Nelly Taylor Jr., his first looking. So having some more troubles in his more recent trip to the Hill City than his previous. But yeah, walking away from that series, Nelly Taylor Jr. was a name I certainly had ingrained in my brain. He made an impact.
I'm sure he was in the nightmares for some of the Hillcats bullpen members. He just kind of ripped them to shreds at different points in the series.
Yeah, and a lot of the damage did feel like he was late in games against the bullpen, which was struggling, especially in that part of the season. One of the biggest things from that Carolina series for Lynchburg, the bullpen was really good. Especially even look back at just Game 6 as Uten sends one into left field. Jose Pastrano will chase it before it lands out of play by the tarp. In Game 6, Jack Jasiak and Verguez would take things for Jordan Smith after a short and not so great start from Alex Clemmie and hold things scoreless for the rest of the 6 innings. Jack Jasiak picking up his 6th win in the process, which leads the team. Strike 2 to Uten on a bender at 78 for Gomez. Haven't seen him break out the curveball a lot, and when he has used it, it's been often in 2-strike counts.
It feels like we saw it a lot in the first 2 innings, and then when he realized guys were laying off of it and not being fooled by it, he went away from it, went with the fastball, and that ended up right over the heart of the plate, which is where he ran into trouble with in the 4th inning.
Goes back to the off-speed here. Back-to-back strikeouts for the 4 and 5 hitters of the Salem Red Sox. Gomez has struck out Taylor and Uten, the aforementioned 4 and 5 batters, a combined 5 times now. It's 7 strikeouts under the belt of Gomez. for whatever reason, when he's approached this part of the order, he's found a lot of success, as Jordan Smith will like to end it on a high note for Gomez as he'll come out of the game with just one out left to get in the top of the 5th inning.
How do you like to spend your summer nights? At the beach or at the ballpark? Why not both? Join the Lynchburg Hillcats as the Delmarva Shorebirds visit July 9th through the 14th. On Friday, the Lemonadas de Hill City will return with a limited edition Lemonadas-themed Hawaiian shirt. Still not beachy enough for you? Saturday will be a celebration of good times and good vibes with our annual Margaritaville night. Following the game, we'll let our cares blast away with a fireworks show. Get your tickets today at lynchburg-hillcats.com. You've probably heard the old saying, the best things in life are free. But do you believe it? The Lynchburg Hillcats want to make sure you and your kids do. Sign your kids up for Southpaw's free Kids Club and experience the best free activity your money can't buy. All Kids Club members receive complimentary tickets to 5 designated Kids Club games, Virginia 529 Fun Zone passes for the whole season, and exclusive autograph sessions with players. Kids 12 and under can sign up at lynchburg-hillcats.com to activate their Kids Club membership today.
You are listening to Hillcats Baseball on the Lynchburg Hillcats Radio Network.
Into the game for Lynchburg, Renny Artiles, who has the same line as Nathaniel Cruz in his last outing. He also went 1 inning, allowing 1 hit, no earned runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. So Artiles was brought in for just 1 inning of work in his last appearance, and he did the job through it. Taking a look at Gomez before we dive deeper into Artiles' stat line on the season. 4 2/3 innings for the right-hander from Venezuela. 8 hits, 3 runs, all earned, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. His ERA at 3.76 after the start here in Game 1. But for Artiles, June's been a struggle for the reliever. He has an ERA of 7.94 in the month of June. Now, we're in July, as it's July 1st, and Artiles certainly hoping to get back to his earlier season form as the new month turns over, Jason.
And he needs to do that. He's getting to the point in his time with Lynchburg where he's been here for parts of 3 seasons, and June really felt like a step back for him. And he's a guy who, he's got the stuff. We've seen it time and time again, but if he can't piece it together, it's a time of the year where tough conversations start happening. And you never want to predict or say that it's going to happen for one guy or another, but you have to be able to command your stuff, and you have to be able to figure things out. And for him, if he can return back to that form of April and May when he was lights out and nobody could touch him, that's a guy that could run deep in this organization. They need him to get back to that point in time.
The 2-0 skied. Tommy Hawk comes in. Rafael Ramirez Jr. darts out of the way at the last second as Tommy Hawk makes the basket catch. Rafael Ramirez Jr. face first on the grass in relief as Tommy Hawk makes the 3rd out of the inning. Renny Artiles does his job as the Hillcats get out of the 5th scoreless. It'll be the home half of the 5th when we come back as we're halfway through here in the Hill City in Game 1.
Lynchburg Regional Airport is going strong. For many years now, Lynchburg's low fares have been among the most competitive in the area, and our conveniently scheduled flights offer easy connections on American Airlines through Charlotte to over 170 nonstop destinations worldwide. So, check the great round-trip airfares currently being offered by visiting flylyh.com today and click Book Now. Prices are subject to change without notice, and certain restrictions apply. Advance purchase is required, and availability is limited. We're ready when you're ready. Check Lynchburg first.
We get it. Finding activities for groups can be difficult. The Lynchburg Hillcats want to make your life easier with our special group outings packages. No matter your group, spend the night out at the ballpark enjoying baseball with your favorite people. All group ticket packages come with discounted tickets, a PA and video board welcome, and the possibility for first pitches and on-field activities. Want to make the night extra special? Sign up for a group picnic and let the Hillcats take care of the details. For more information on groups or picnics, visit lynchburg-hillcats.com.
Back inside Bank of the James Stadium for the middle innings, here's Connor Young.
Top of the lineup, due up in the bottom of the 5th. Tommy Hawk, Ralphie Velasquez, Jason Churio. Tommy Hawk coming into today. 18 games in a row getting on base for Lynchburg. He's on a 6-game hit streak, and he has not reached base in any way, shape, or form today. So the 6-game hit streak and 18-game on base streak, both in danger of closing. Still plenty of time for Tommy Hawk to increase both those runs. Coming into today, Hawk, he had the best on-base percentage on the team. Even better than Jason Churio, who's been the leader in that regard for the Hillcats for pretty much this whole entire season. Tommy Hawk swings at the second pitch, sends it out and play on the left field side. After Churio reached base twice already today, a single and a walk, he probably has retaken that lead at this point, but still, for Tommy Hawk to catch him, it shows just how frequently he's been getting on base lately for Jordan Smith.
And he is such a great leadoff hitter. When it comes to the top of the order, he's one of your more natural leadoff hitters. He's able to work long at-bats, work deep into counts, and force the pitcher to make a lot of pitches. And he just knows the strike zone so well, and you see him having a conversation with the home plate umpire, and he's got to be careful because he was chirping a little bit longer than most.
Yeah, Ralphie Velasquez was doing that at different points. Those are two guys that you don't usually see do that.
We saw Jordan Smith, after the pitching change, have a conversation with the umpire as well.
Misses upstairs, 2-2 the count. Seems like the Hillcats might not be loving their first meeting with Larry Pettis, the home plate umpire. Nevertheless, the 2-2 slider, 82 miles an hour upstairs to Tommy Hawk. Now, just about every other hitter in this lineup, that's right down the middle. The shorter Tommy Hawk, it comes in at the letters or just above that to move it full. Full count to leadoff man. Strikeout for Tommy Hawk, his second of the game. The third already for Cruz out of the bullpen.
First baseman, number 24, Ralphie Velasquez.
Ralphie Velasquez will step in, 0 for 2 today. Seems like he's changed up his walk-up music.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Very peaceful, serene, melodic walk-up music for Ralphie these days. You got to switch it up at least once a season, I feel like. One down, the 1-0 to Ralphie Velasquez. Goes back to the slider. Cruz continues to go with that pitch. We've seen him use the fastball when he's up in the count, especially as a put-away pitch. He'll challenge hitters. Ralphie Velasquez might not be a guy you want to use that method against. See it there, 94 up in the zone, too high.
He's shaking his head. He saw something, picked up on some cue. Maybe it was the fastball velocity or the arm slot or something, but he read something well, and now he wants to take a hack.
It's a 3-0 count. Velasquez lines it to the first baseman, Brandon. It's off his glove. Brandon frantically looking around the dirt to see if he knocked that ball down in front of him. He didn't. One first baseman stings one to another as Ralphie Velasquez picks up his first base hit of the day.
Ralphie got the green light on 3-0, which I think the Hillcats are at the point now where everybody has the green light 3-0 if they want it. And Velasquez, I think he was sitting on a fastball because he was out in front of that changeup from Cruz, but he was able to wait back just long enough to punch it up the first base line, and Brandon could only get his glove on it.
Just hit it so hard. It might have been into the dirt, but didn't matter. So he pulled that ball down the line. Brandon did a good enough job to get a piece of it. Then I'll bring up Jason Churio, yet to be retired. That's the first time a runner is reached against Cruz after coming into the game last inning. He dances Churio off the plate with a 93-mile-an-hour fastball up and in. 2-0 count to Churio. As Cruz, much like Cohen before him, seems to be losing control of the strike zone, and Lynchburg's taking advantage. See if Churio's sitting on something. Saw a slider at 83 right down the middle. Clearly, that's not what he was looking for.
And I think you're okay with that kind of take. You're looking for a fastball probably in a 2-0 count. You get a soft slider, just lay off of it. You still got a couple more pitches to work with.
Churrio's average back up at 270. Velasquez takes off on a changeup, and once again, it's a high throw from McIlvaney.
Boy, if you're the Hillcats with McIlvaney behind the plate, you just got to keep running. He has not been able to get a throw on line at any point in time in this ball game.
Even in the warm-up throws, and I almost mentioned it heading into this inning, as McIlvaney on that warm-up throw down to second, skied it almost into the outfield. And he's done that a couple times as Churrio will take a walk, his second of the game. Didn't mention it, didn't want to comment on the warm-up throws all that much, but McIlvaney on every attempt down to second just hasn't had a feel for his throw down.
It's been tough sledding for him today. And you know he'd like to figure things out because it's also cost them a few runs as well.
Sure has.
And you think about that second inning when Lynchburg put 2 runs on the board. His throw down to third that sailed into left field was responsible for Luis Durango being able to come home to score.
And bring up Wilfredo Antunez with 2 on and 1 out. Antunez, he's on a 5-game hit streak. He's been on a power surge through the month of June, leading into July. Antunez logged 6 extra base hits through the month of June and is tied for the team lead in triples with 6. It's a lot of triples. Esteban Gonzalez also with that number. First pitch to Antunez inside. Ball 1. Antunez was real hot in June, and that raised his slugging percentage considerably all the way up to .452. He's got 23 extra base hits on the season. Not a guy that's going to spray a lot of singles. He swings hard. Shown patience today, which is something I haven't seen from Antunez a lot this season. Drew a walk in the bottom of the first and works a 2-0 count against Cruz, who's struggling to find the strike zone. Ralphie Velasquez will dart back after Cruz pays him some attention over at second base. Zenatello was not covering, so no throw from the reliever. For Antunez, with all that power stored up, sure, it's good when he jumps on pitches that he likes, but you would think he'd be all that more dangerous as Cruz will once again go over to Velasquez. But back to Antunez, you would think he'd be even more dangerous if he can work himself into favorable hitters count and really start sitting on pitches.
Rather than having to protect every single time he comes to the plate. He's great at that.
Right.
And changing his approach when he gets to 2 strikes, but you'd like to see him play from in front.
And I get it. The count goes to 3-0. When you're as good a hitter as he is, you're as hot as he has been, sure, you want to go out there, you see a pitch you like, and take a rip at it. I get it. But I think this approach, where he's really settling in on a spot, is going to be more productive for him. He works another favorable count. 3-0. 4-pitch walk. The wheels seem to be falling off from Nathaniel Cruz, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a walk to the mound from Juan Rivera, the pitching coach, as he just loaded the bases.
There is an arm getting loose for Salem in their bullpen. I can't see exactly who it is, as Juan Benjamin will step in. Here comes the pitching coach to the top step. I don't know if he's... Now he's going to make a move. That was a really delayed motion.
Yeah, that to me seems like maybe they're trying to buy some time for that reliever. They probably won't get him for this at-bat. But not only was it a long, drawn-out process for Rivera to head out to the mound, Nathaniel Cruz also, after that walk, now this could just be some frustration showing through, walked off the mound over towards second base, took his hat off, kind of looked over, and at that point, I don't even know if Rivera made it to the top step yet, but to me, he was looking at the dugout like, are you guys going to come out here now? Seeming like he was expecting it. He will get it. As the bases are loaded for Juan Benjamin, who we talked about has 29 RBIs coming into today. Now 30 after already driving in a run in the bottom of the third. And he's one of the best Hillcats hitters at driving in runs. He has the second highest batting average with runners in scoring position on the team, which is pretty impressive for a guy that's not getting consistent everyday reps. Now, he might be more recently after Angel Hanau was sent to Lake County, and there's been some more middle infield opportunities. But as a whole, the only hitter who's batting better in these situations is Jason Churio. And Jason Churio is hitting at an alarming rate with runners in scoring position. He's the team leader in RBIs as Juan Benjamin watches the ball go past. With runners in scoring position this year, Jason Churio holds a team best batting average of .397.
Wow.
Yeah. The 1-0 in there for the first strike of the at-bat to Benjamin. But if that doesn't get you excited as a Guardians fan, to see that not only do you have a guy who gets on base all the time, has great speed, plays good defense, good bat-to-ball skills, but also is opportunistic in his hitting and timely, whew, the reason why he's the third-ranked prospect in the Guardians system.
I mean, you'll take 100 points lower than that and call
Sure.
it a successful season. If you're batting .297 with runners in scoring position, that in and of itself is successful. But to hit .397 in that type of situation, boy, that is a contentment at the plate, just to be patient and wait for your pitch. It means he doesn't get jumpy. A lot of young hitters, they get jumpy when there's runners in scoring position because they see an RBI opportunity and they think that they need to be the one that drive them in. And so they change up their approach, they change up their swing. Churio doesn't do that. He just stays consistent.
The 2-2 to Benjamin. Skied foul. To your point, Jason, I don't think I've ever, and this isn't an exaggeration, I don't think I've ever seen Churio frazzled in any way, shape, or form. Whether it's something on the field, a strike call he doesn't agree with, a bad day at the plate, he just seems flatline, level-headed constantly.
Well, who's his brother? Jackson Churio. And look at what he's doing at the major league level, just paving his way. He went so quickly through the minor leagues. This is a baseball family.
The 2-2 swung on by number 2, Juan Benjamin, for the second out of the inning. The bases will remain loaded for Rafael Ramirez Jr.
And Churio, the older brother, Jackson, I mean, he's batting .243, and this being his first professional season. And he had an inside-the-park home run the other night. But that's the pedigree that's in his blood, is a pro ball player that is a top prospect in baseball. And so that's only going to help Jason as he develops and watches and learns how Jackson progressed and worked through it. I'm sure they're very close, and I'm sure he's passing along tips.
Absolutely. Jason Churio hoping to follow that blueprint. Liam Carroll will go to the bullpen. A bases loaded, 2-out situation in the bottom of the 5th. We'll see who'll be tasked with it when we come back on the Lynchburg Hillcats Radio Network.
The Lynchburg Hillcats are ready for a summer of fun with a fresh slate of weekly promotions for you and your family to enjoy. Every Tuesday, get a free ticket to the next Tuesday home game as part of our 2 for Tuesday promotion. Wednesday is Weenie Wednesday with hot dog deals each week, and Thursday we'll bring back our traditional Thirsty Thursday with drink specials all night long. On Friday, join us for Freebie Friday for a new giveaway each week. We'll have fireworks every Saturday night, and kids can eat free each Sunday during the season. Get your tickets today at lynchburg-hillcats.com.
Are you a fan of fireworks or collecting sports memorabilia? Or maybe instead of the bar, you want to spend your nights at the ballpark. Whatever your passion, the Lynchburg Hillcats have a mini plan package for you. Make sure to secure your tickets for every Thirsty Thursday, Freebie Friday, or fireworks show Saturday with one of our dated mini plans. Craving more baseball? Sign up for our 30-game mini plan. Not sure what games you want to go to? The Hillcats offer undated mini plans as well. For more information and to purchase your 2024 mini plan, visit lynchburg-hillcats.com.
You're listening to Hillcats Baseball on the Lynchburg Hillcats Radio Network.
Into the game for Salem, Michael Sansone. He picked up a 4-inning save against Fredericksburg on June 25th. The last win Salem has put together. They're on a current 3-game losing streak. Now he could be tasked with a similar situation, coming in the bottom of the 5th with 2 outs and the bases loaded. Rafael Ramirez Jr., the only hitter who stands in his way from putting a goose egg on the scoreboard in a half inning where Lynchburg really wants to do some damage.
Sansone's been their best reliever this season, so a perfect time to go to him here with the bases loaded and 2 down in what is a vital part of the ball game.
First pitch strike on the inside. He steals it with an 81-mile-an-hour changeup. His ERA at 138 coming into today, a 4-1 record, 3 saves as well. It's been perfect just about for Salem out of the bullpen. Misses away, going to a curveball. Not too tempting for Rafael Ramirez Jr. Sansone pauses. The 1-1 inside. Ramirez Jr. showing some patience. Cruz, he went 1 2/3 inning, gave up 1 hit, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. He is on the hook for every runner aboard. The 2-1 popped up out of play. Straight back for Rafael Ramirez Jr.
Sansone's one loss in this season came against the Hillcats here at Bank of the James Stadium when it went to extra innings. He pitched all the way from the 5th until the 10th. And that was the Ralphie Velasquez walk-off double on the skunk night.
The 2-2. Ooh, that's a beauty. Rafael Ramirez Jr. gave up on it. It was a curveball at 73 that started at the chin of the lefty shortstop and ended up right in the middle of the strike zone, tucked enough on the inside half to be just about unhittable. Perfectly placed for Sansone. He comes out of the bullpen and does what he's been doing all season long, but more importantly, strands 3 as the Hillcats stay tied with Salem, 3-3.
If you're looking for a home, auto, or life insurance plan, look no further. State Farm has been offering great coverage at surprisingly low rates for over 100 years. Stop in and see one of the 4 Central Virginia insurance agents. For Lynchburg, call Chip Harvey. For Rustburg, contact Jack Dean. For Appomattox, call Sarah Saunders. And for Madison Heights, visit Kim Z. Gardner. Contact your local State Farm agents today.
How do you like to spend your summer nights? At the beach or at the ballpark? Why not both? Join the Lynchburg Hillcats as the Delmarva Shorebirds visit July 9th through the 14th. On Friday, the Lemonadas de Hill City will return with a limited edition Lemonadas-themed Hawaiian shirt. Still not beachy enough for you? Saturday will be a celebration of good times and good vibes with our annual Margaritaville night. Following the game, we'll let our cares blast away with a fireworks show. Get your tickets today at lynchburg-hillcats.com.
Hillcats baseball is in full swing. It's time for a quick game recap on the Lynchburg Hillcats radio network. Here's Jason Prill.
Connor Young, Jason Prill with you on the Lynchburg Hillcats radio network. We're deadlocked at 3. Tied 3-3 as we head to the 6th between Lynchburg Hillcats and Salem Red Sox. Let's break down exactly how we got here to this point. Salem would score first in the 2nd inning. Jorman Gomez would allow a couple of runs before departing, as Gomez would start off game 1 of 6 for Lynchburg. By the end of the day, he would have 3 earned runs attributed to him. Lynchburg would respond in the bottom of the 2nd, scoring 2 and going out in front 2-1 after a double steal that went, I guess, perfectly for Lynchburg, but horribly awry for Salem. A bevy of throwing errors would plate both Luis Durango and Rafael Ramirez Jr. Lynchburg would follow that up in the 3rd with a run in the bottom of the 3rd inning to go out ahead 3-1, but Salem in the top of the 4th would strike back, sending Jorman Gomez eventually out of the game after he would respond in the 5th inning, getting the first 2 outs of the 5th. But the damage was done. The pitch count was run up in the 4th, where the Red Sox put 2 on the board, tying things at 3-3. As it stands, 9 hits for Salem, just 4 for Lynchburg, but 3 errors have been the difference for the Red Sox as they've been super costly and allowed Lynchburg to tie things up in a game where they've certainly been out-hit. Renny Artiles on the mound for the top of the 6th inning as Albert Feliz skies one. Talk about a major league pop fly. Jose Pastrano will make the grab in shallow left field, just off the infield in foul territory.
You're exactly right. They have out-hit the Hillcats, though. The scoreboard in the ballpark says 9. They only have 8 hits officially, 8-4, but they've doubled them up. Hillcats have just been able to execute with the runners in scoring position compared to Salem, who has left much to be desired, though as soon as I say that, comes on the heels of the 5th inning where the Hillcats left the bases loaded.
First pitch to McIlvaney just catches him, so he'll reach first. His 3rd time doing so today. And this is where the traffic really has come up for the Red Sox. Feliz, McIlvaney, and Tucker, especially McIlvaney and Tucker, both of those guys yet to be retired by Gomez or Artiles. Then you flip back up to the top of the lineup where Nazan Zanatello has been the MVP of the game for Salem. He's got 3 singles, 2 RBIs. So if you can get runners in scoring position with him at the dish today, you feel pretty good. Stanley Tucker not feeling too good after that swing. It was an ugly one. He was fighting it all the way through, but did manage to go around just enough for the first strike of the at-bat for Artiles. Artiles plunked Daniel McIlvaney. He'll lead off first base. Friendly roller would do wonders for Artiles. He'll throw over to Velasquez, who will slap the tag on the side of McIlvaney.
Well, it was a friendly roller that burned Norman Gomez as Ramirez couldn't scoop it well. Went right underneath his glove. Allowed 2 runners to score.
Errors continue to be a problem in this game for either side.
I think that more than anything else is probably the story of the game.
Yeah.
Is just the defensive lapses. For the Hillcats, it's been with their glove work. For Salem, it's been with their arms. Their throws have been errant and all over the place. Lynchburg, yes, there's only 1 error on the board, but it was costly and it went right underneath the glove of Ramirez.
That's the thing with Gomez. I feel like for him to be successful, he really needs to have an infield behind him that's ready to go. Because he's the guy that plays to contact a lot. And we saw earlier in the season where maybe some guys were still getting their footing in the infield. There was a lot of errors when Gomez was on the mound. I mean, in April, he had 10 runs come across on him. Only 5 of those were earned. Today, the infield was okay in spots, but that big error from Rafael Ramirez Jr. that allowed a couple runs to come across really is the big one. As Artiles loses Stanley Tucker, he'll walk. First walk issued by Artiles, as control is the biggest issue for Artiles. He walks a batter. Batter previous to that, he hit. So now, McIlvaney will be in scoring position for Nazan Zanatello. And what did I say just a couple of batters ago? You just want runners in scoring position for the leadoff man today. He's 3 for 3 with 2 RBIs. Batting average that started in the low 190s, now up to 205 for the highly touted shortstop prospect. First pitch to him, misses. 1-0 count now. Artiles looks in. Yeah, traffic behind him to his right. Zanatello late on a 94-mile-an-hour fastball fouls it back.
It was Zanatello in his last at-bat that the air was committed. It was a ground ball to short. I'd love a redemption story here if you're the Hillcats. Zanatello, though, trying to add to that RBI total. What is already a good night for him.
Chiles goes fastball, slider, changeup. Fastball there at 93. Misses away. Lopez clearly not thrilled with the call. Talked about how there's a lot of catching depth in this Red Sox organization. The 2-1 swung on by Zanatello. Once again, Artiles goes back to the well away. This time a 94-mile-an-hour fastball Zanatello swings through. Same could be said for shortstop. When you got Cespedes, who's on this Red Sox team. He's the 7th-ranked prospect in their organization. We haven't seen him yet. He was not a member of the Salem Red Sox when we last saw them come to town. Then, of course, you got Marcelo Mayer, who ranks near the top, if not the top, of the Hillcats organization as far as prospects go. 2-2. Have to wait. Throw to second, caught by Benjamin. Plenty of time for McIlvaney to get back as he's been busy on the base pass. Quiles has been paying him a lot of attention. 2-2 count to Zanatello. Quiles pauses at the belt for a moment. Looks back to Benjamin, his second baseman, and delivers to Lopez inside. He was looking to shoot the corner with a slider. However, not enough bite. Be a full count. A walk would load the bases. Both runners on base reached on a hit by pitch and a walk. Strike three, the throw down to Pastrano. Strike him out, throw him out, double play, you bet. Renny Artiles pounds his chest. Robert Lopez, business as usual, as the Hillcats do find a double play, not from the friendly roller, bit more of a flashy turn two, as Lynchburg still tied 3-3. We're through 6.5. Bottom of the sixth coming up next. We come back on the Lynchburg Hillcats Radio Network.
The Virginia Commonwealth Games are back this summer in Lynchburg, Virginia, on the campus of Liberty University. Be a part of the tailgate party and opening ceremonies kickoff celebration. For more information, visit commonwealthgames.org.
The Lynchburg Hillcats are ready for a summer of fun with a fresh slate of weekly promotions for you and your family to enjoy. Every Tuesday, get a free ticket to the next Tuesday home game as part of our 2 for Tuesday promotion. Wednesday is Weenie Wednesday with hot dog deals each week, and Thursday we'll bring back our traditional Thirsty Thursday with drink specials all night long. On Friday, join us for Freebie Friday for a new giveaway each week. We'll have fireworks every Saturday night, and kids can eat free each Sunday during the season. Get your tickets today at lynchburg-hillcats.com.
Back inside Bank of the James Stadium for the middle innings, here's Connor Young.
7, 8, 9, Lopez, Pastrano, Durango, as they'll have to deal with Sansone, who, Jason, going by that little bit we saw from Sansone last inning, he only retired Rafael Ramirez Jr. as the only out he needed, but that strikeout against Rafael Ramirez Jr. I think was telling when you look at the stats as well. Sansone's got some special stuff.
It was a beautiful slider, just wrapped in the front door and didn't even knock. Just barged right in, and Ramirez couldn't do anything with it as he sat there and watched it go by for strike three. But you can see the talent. We saw it the last time he was here in Lynchburg. We talked about that being his only loss in the season. But you think about, he went from the 5th inning until the 10th inning. And it wasn't until the 10th inning that the Hillcats even got to him. And so he's outstanding on the mound. He's very comfortable. And he's a guy that, if you're Boston and a Red Sox fan, you're excited about, for a guy who could be a back-end bullpen guy.
Yeah, he'd get a 4-run record, 1.38 ERA. So he finds the outside part of the strike zone to Robert Lopez, who should know this strike zone from Larry Pettis pretty well, being behind the dish on the other end for Lynchburg. The 1-1 count, nevertheless. The 1-1 upstairs. For Sansone, this isn't his first year pitching in the Carolina League. However, it's his first season with Salem. Played for the Charleston River Dogs last year. Held a 3-3 record, 3.49 ERA through 28 1/3 innings pitched. He's already got more innings under his belt this year than that year at 39 and counting. And he's been even better, although he was solid for Charleston in the small amount he was with the team last season.
And you talk to people around Charleston, they still don't know why Sansone was cut. He was pitching outstanding. He was a deep bullpen guy, and they just let him go, and Boston's forever grateful for it. Sansone has been a staple, and he's got a chance to now play for kind of his hometown team. He grew up in Connecticut.
Club to right field, Uton will chase it all the way to the wall. Robert Lopez fires around first, pulls into second with a stand-up double, and he keeps the streak going. As I noted in his last at-bat, Lopez has reached base at least one time via the hit in every single series Lynchburg has played this year. Pretty impressive.
That is very impressive for Lopez as he picks up the double. And for the second time tonight, the Hillcats get a leadoff double to open up an inning. Rafael Ramirez Jr. did it in the second. He would come around to score. Right now, the Hillcats knotted up at 3. Runs at this point would be a premium against a guy like Sansone, so you want to capitalize on it.
Certainly would be. Jose Pastrano will stroll up. He'll bat right-handed against the righties, or the lefty Sansone, excuse me.
So if you're Robert Lopez, you can get a huge secondary lead because you know Mick Mulvaney is struggling to throw the baseball all across the diamond, so he's not going to risk it and throw down to second. Pastrano looks like he's dealing with a bit of a stinger.
That one definitely caught him off the top of the foot, it looks like. He skipped to his loo all the way over to the Salem Red Sox on deck circle. Or what should be the on deck circle, I suppose. Pastrano 0 for 1 with a walk. He's walked and struck out. He was the string of 3 that cruised through in the bottom of the 4th. The Hillcats would go up, or go down rather, 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 4th inning. Did more damage against the reliever in the 5th, although they weren't able to put any runs across the board. Bases were loaded. Sansone came into the game and left them loaded. A long talk here between Erlen Serta, Jordan Smith, Yuko Ogata, and Jose Pastrano.
Makes you wonder if it was a little bit more than just a stinger. I mean, the ball ran in on him just a little bit, maybe. And so maybe it caught him closer to the hands and caught a piece of it.
They want him to hold the bat, take a swing or two, see how it feels. Yeah, this is not what you would usually see if it's just a routine. I guess it's hard to call it routine when it's a fastball coming in at 90 miles an hour plus, ricocheted off your leg. Nothing but routine, at least how it feels to the hitter. But my point is you see it all the time in baseball, and it's usually just a 10-second, 20-second thing. It seems a little bit deeper than that.
And in comparison to pitchers, because they're having him take a couple practice swings to see how it feels, a pitcher can throw the baseball a couple times and somewhat replicate the actual game. A hitter, you can take cuts, but that doesn't replicate what it feels like to have the baseball hit off the bat.
Sure.
And there's more reverberation. There's a little bit more tension that you have to fight through when you're dealing with that. And
yeah, I even feel like if you're taking dry hacks, even if you're super intentional about making them as game-like as possible, it's a big difference for what your body's going through when they're reacting to trying to hit a baseball. Like, instincts take over at that point. I think it's really hard to do that when you know you're simulating a swing. It's pretty hard to really get a feel for, okay, what is this going to feel like, look like, if I'm actually game-ready swinging at a 95-mile-an-hour fastball on the inside half. This is one of the longer meetings we've seen from Yuko Ogata and company with a Hillcat player this season.
yeah, not just hitter, just a player in general.
Yeah.
The Hillcats have been relatively lucky compared to other teams in dealing with injuries, and I don't want to speak too soon about that, but a lot of other teams have ILs that extend pretty far down, and the Hillcats do not.
Lynchburg does have some options. Should Pastrano have to exit this ballgame, Franel Dewey, the first that came to mind. Looks like Jose Pastrano will stick it out, at least for now. Still have the opportunity to stay in the ballgame.
I wonder what will happen at the end of this at-bat. Because we've seen a couple times this season where guys will give the all clear that they're good to finish the AB, and then the next thing you know that they're not out there defensively in the next inning.
Yeah. Just better safe than sorry in minor league baseball. The 1-1 to Pastrano. Lopez leads off second after his leadoff double. It's inside and low. Curveball from Sansone. We're knotted up 3-3. Since the bullpens have taken over, it's been pretty clean sledding for both clubs. The 2-1 misses away. Pastrano once again works a good AB.
And good for him, he hasn't even had to take the bat off his shoulder yet and test that hand.
Might make you even more patient. Don't want to risk swinging. The 3-1, he will take a hack there, and thought there might be a little bit of a hesitation after the follow-through, but he seems okay. Full count.
He's gotten through it.
The full count. It's a curveball that slips and loops out of the hand of Sansone, so Pastrano doesn't even have to think about it. Everyone in the ballpark knew just about out of the hand from Sansone that was going to be ball 4. So Pastrano will reach via the walk for the second time today. We'll bring up Luis Durango. Reached on a fielder's choice, scored a run in the double steal that worked to perfection for Jordan Smith. In his next at-bat, he popped out. He'll bunt, and it's a good one. Sansone will look to go to third, but no one's covering. Look to go to first now and get him just in time. I don't know about that.
Neither does Jordan Smith. He is out there in a hurry.
I do not know about that. Luis Durango looked to have a step there, in my opinion. Bang, bang, sure. But I think Durango had that beat.
Now, I am well aware that we don't travel. And we don't get to see everything live and in person. But it has really felt like every bang-bang play at first, at home this season, has gone against the Hillcats.
Yeah.
That's another example right there, and you can understand some of the frustration that it just builds up over time.
I think Jordan Smith does a really good job of keeping his composure as well. Because that, to me, man, I don't know. I have a hard time seeing that as an out. Now, Luis Durango did reach on a similar play where he was called safe earlier in this game after Zanatello tried to turn the double play on his own. So maybe it's, okay, I gave you one, now I'll give them the other, but I don't think that's the way you want to umpire a baseball game. Not saying that was the methodology that was used.
And I would argue that the first one was much more blatant.
Yeah.
If you mess that one up, there's no argument there. Because it pulled the first baseman's foot off the bat. That one, though, it is a bang-bang play, but you still have to be able to see that.
Nonetheless, 2-1 count. One down for Tommy Hawk, who's been patient. Sansone continues to go to that curveball. That one fell right in the strike zone to Tommy Hawk. 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. The 2-2 fouled straight back off the screen. It's a big moment for Lynchburg. Got to remember, they're coming off a half inning where the bases were loaded and they weren't able to push across a single run. Now, runners at second and third with just one out. The 2-2 to Tommy Hawk. Into shallow center, moving towards left. Patrolling back is Taylor Jr. He'll hit the cutoff man, and Robert Lopez will score with no throw. Tommy Hawk does his job. Sacrifice fly gives Lynchburg the lead. Hillcats out in front, 4-3.
That's a huge run in the 6th inning. You give yourself the lead against a guy who's going to be tough to score off of. Now you're going to leave it in the hands of your bullpen, Renny Artiles, and whoever comes in after him. They're going to be tasked with really shutting the door on Salem, which is easier said than done because Red Sox have had some good games against Lynchburg this season, especially late in the ball game.
Ralphie Velasquez cuts at a curve.
I mean, we had, 3 extra inning games the last time they came to
It's a
Lynchburg?
crazy series.
Lynchburg ended up winning all but one game that week. But they were close and they were long.
They're 10-2 against Salem this season. They've had their number. It's kind of wild just how successful Lynchburg's been against the Red Sox. 2-1 count to Ralphie Velasquez. Fouls it off. Once again, going the other way. Fouled off the first curveball in the outside half, that direction as well. This one more center cut. Still not able to straighten it out. Sandstone wants to limit the damage to 1. Continuing to go to the curveball. However, there's been moments where he doesn't have the grip on it, it seems, and it just flies out. Not a competitive pitch for Lynchburg Gators to even have to question. That's an example of one. Misses high. 2's across the scoreboard. 2-2 with 2 outs in the inning. Make it full to Ralphie Velasquez.
And you see him going off speed. Ralphie's not the guy you want to leave a fastball down the heart of the plate to, because he can make you pay.
Well, they pitch to him. It's a full count. They give him a looper, and Ralphie can't believe he missed it. Dead red, center cut. Served up on a platter, and Ralphie Velasquez certainly was sitting fastball. He's dismayed with a curveball he swings through. It's a strikeout. The second of the game for Ralphie Velasquez, second of the game for Sandstone. But Lynchburg, they strike for 1 in the bottom of the 6th. They lead it 4-3 as we take on the back 3 innings here in the Hill City.
Check out Creative Edge Design Incorporated for your signs, banners, and wrap services. We are a 3M certified graphics installation company backed by a 3M warranty, protecting your graphics against any cracking, fading, or peeling for over 10 years. Your graphics will continue to look exactly like they did on the day they were installed. Visit us at cedi.biz for more information. Creative Edge Designs, custom designs for you.
Hey fans, are you looking to disconnect and enjoy a perfect getaway? Well, let me introduce you to Crabtree Falls Campground. With campsites right on the river, 4 rustic cabins, and bathrooms with hot water, Crabtree Falls Campground is your place to stay this summer. Located just an hour drive from Lynchburg, Crabtree Falls Campground is just a half-mile hike away from the tallest waterfall east of the Mississippi. Visit www.crabtreefallscampground.com or call them at 540-377-2066 to book your stay.
Alongside Connor Young, here's the voice of Lynchburg Hillcats baseball, Jason Prill.
Top of the 7th inning, Lynchburg now leads it 4-3. A crucial run scored in the bottom half of the 6th on a sacrifice fly from Tommy Hawk. That's the difference in the ball game, as it'll be 2, 3, and 4 to face Renny Artiles here in the 7th inning. Artiles came on to wrap up the 5th inning for Yorman Gomez, and Artiles, he's done his job. He did hit a batter and walk a batter as well, but strike him out, throw him out to end the last frame as us in the 7th. Antonio Anderson, 1 for 3 on the day. Singled in his last plate appearance in the 4th inning. Artiles pumps a fastball in there for strike 2. Salem managed by Liam Carroll. Carroll, he's an interesting story, Connor. I don't know how much you know about him, but he was actually born and raised in Great Britain. Raised in London. Yeah, it's a big swing and a miss by Anderson for out number 1. And you do some digging on baseball in England, and there are less than 100 ball fields in the whole Great Britain, which encompasses England, Wales, Scotland, those that conglomerate of countries. Only 100 ball fields, and now they have a representative here in the Major League, Minor League Baseball world in Liam Carroll, and he was the general manager for Great Britain during the World Baseball Classic. The 1-0 was fouled away by Brannon. Now, general manager is a bit of a deceiving title. He's not signing players or making too many executive decisions, though he does work with scouting and analytics and numbers. But he was also coaching the infielders for the World Baseball Classic and trying to help Great Britain make a run. That's flown out toward right field. Antunes drifting over toward the line. He'll make the grab. Route number 2. He said his goal is to really grow the game in England.
Yeah.
It's a country that the U.S. has tried to target. They've had some London Series games the past couple seasons. And Carroll, I'm sure, ecstatic about those, to see the game growing and developing. And just to make the World Baseball Classic for them is good. And baseball has the unique advantage compared to other sports when you're trying to compete for television time or fandom in Great Britain and England. This is a summer sport, whereas soccer is played majority in the fall, winter, and early spring. As Taylor pops it up out of play, 1 ball, 1 strike. And so Carroll, he's quoted as believing that there's a place for baseball. Sure. That it doesn't really need to even compete with soccer. It can stand its own. As the London Series, they've been sold out.
Yeah.
That's driven into center field, a base hit for Taylor. He breaks his string of 3 strikeouts on the day to avoid the golden sombrero. But it's interesting. Carroll does not have much of an accent at all. If you didn't know that he was from England, you probably wouldn't even think anything of it, because there's really nothing there to tell you that he has an accent.
That is interesting. And like you said, it's pretty awesome to have someone in the Carolina League with that background, just because it's so rare.
As far as I can tell, he's the only manager or even member of a coaching staff in minor league or professional Major League Baseball that's from Great Britain. He's in there for a strike to Nathaniel Houghton as he swung through it. He's 0 for 3. It's a really big honor. He talked about having such a diverse clubhouse and how much fun that is for him, that growing up in London, where it's a very diverse melting pot of a city.
Yep.
And now he's able to kind of bring that same mindset and mentality into a clubhouse and into the sport he loves.
Right.
And you see all that diversity come play a beautiful factor in what's become a fun team this season for Salem.
Being able to work in an environment like that is so crucial in baseball, especially minor league baseball, I would say. Because for a lot of these guys, it's their first couple of seasons or years, I should say, away from their home country. And being able to work with people of different ethnicities and languages and cultures, that's so important. Especially because, yeah, you're their baseball coach, but you're also a figure that's warming them into a completely foreign, new, intimidating situation.
And he's one of the few head coaches and managers in minor league baseball that didn't play the game at a high level. He never made it to minor league baseball or Major League Baseball. That's a throw over, nothing doing. He was not much of a ball player himself, but he kind of paved his own way, studying the game, learning the game. He became a D-Ops when he was fresh out of college. And he's traveled all over the globe for the game of baseball. The 2-strike pitch, runner takes off. It's out wide. They're not even going to worry about him, as Taylor will swipe second. And sometimes, I mean, that proves it. All you need is the IQ. And you can really help manage a ball club. And this is Liam Carroll's second season with the Red Sox, so Boston must see something in him. Houghton strikes out swinging. And that'll end the top of the 7th inning. Lynchburg still leads it by 1, 4-3. We head to the bottom half of the frame here in Lynchburg at Lynchburg Hillcats Radio Network.
Scientech Systems is your technology partner. Whether it's business class internet, phone and TV, or their world-class IT services, Scientech is here to manage your technology needs so you can focus on what you love to do. Visit Scientech.com for a free quote today.
This summer, we're going from minor league baseball to major fun. Whether you're just stopping by or looking for that Grand Slam getaway, Wyndham rewards everyone. Start earning points on your next qualified by Wyndham hotel stay and redeem them for minor league baseball tickets and experiences all summer long. Not a Wyndham Rewards member? Join for free at WyndhamRewards.com. Restrictions apply. Visit WyndhamRewards.com for more details.
You're listening to the 30th anniversary season of Lynchburg Hillcats baseball.
So Artiles does his job in the top half of the 7th inning as we conclude stretch time. It'll be the heart of the order for Lynchburg. Churio, Antunes, and Benjamin. The 3-2 up here in Lynchburg. As just a reminder, folks, it's going to be a busy week at the ballpark. Yes, we're playing on Monday night. We go all the way through Saturday. And the end of this week is going to be fun, crowded, and crazy. Thursday night, 4th of July, Independence Day, fireworks show after the ball game. Friday night, a patriotic cap giveaway. And then Saturday, it's our Star Wars night, Revenge of the 6th, July 6th. Get your tickets today at lynchburg-hillcats.com. And oh, by the way, 2 fireworks shows this week. Thursday night for the 4th of July and Saturday night as part of Star Wars night, as the best and only place that will have 2 fireworks shows this week here in Lynchburg. As the first pitch to Churio misses upstairs for ball 1. Get your tickets at lynchburg-hillcats.com. And might I add, the only legal city-approved fireworks show in Lynchburg is right here at Bank of the James Stadium. So get your tickets today at lynchburg-hillcats.com.
It's pretty incredible. Definitely this place to be on July 4th.
2-0. Missed high and wide. 3 balls and no strikes. It's going to be a fun night. 4th of July, always one of the best crowds of the season, if not the best crowd. The fans always get loud and enjoy a night out at the ballpark. Last year, it rained right in the middle of the 4th of July game. It just downpoured. The crowd stuck through it.
There you go.
It ended up being a great crowd and a fun night. A slow chopper, but it caught the foot of Churio, so he'll need an extra moment. That's the fear with some of these big games, is if there's any chance for bad weather, it keeps people away or kind of dampens the mood, pun intended. And that's the exact opposite of what happened last 4th of July. It was only a quick storm, passed through in about 30, 45 minutes in terms of by the time we got the tarp off and got back to action, as Churio draws the leadoff walk. But this year, and I hate to put my foot in the mouth a little too early, but the weather looks good. It looks hot. But what more do you want for the 4th of July? It's supposed to be hot on the 4th of July. You go outside during the day, maybe go to the lake, go to Smith Mountain Lake, about 45 minutes away. If you're coming down from Salem, it's kind of in line. Tag it first. They didn't get him. Churio, an awkward dive back. Then make your way over to the ballpark. Grab a hot dog before you get to the seat. Churio's going to need a new belt. Got caught in the ground. Not the equipment change you're used to seeing at first base, but nevertheless, Erlen Serta has traded his belt for an broken
quick.
One. It's
a good transition. Looked like a pit crew.
That's a great way to put it. A pit crew. But yeah, grab a hot dog. Come grab your seat on the 4th of July. Lynchburg-hillcats.com. Tickets are going fast, so get your tickets today at Lynchburg-hillcats.com. Well, Fredo Antunez will step in. Churio, he has 2 stolen bases already. We'll see how aggressive he is this time, as Antunez takes a called strike 0-1.
Also has 3 walks today for Churio. He hasn't been retired. He singled in the first, followed up by 3 back-to-back walks. That's not a Churio stat line. I don't know what is.
It fits his characteristic, the way he plays the game of baseball. 0-2, though, on Antunez, as he'll have to play from behind. Lynchburg would love an insurance run here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Throw back behind Churio. Now, 2 step-offs, he can run a little bit more freely. With McIlvaney behind the dish. Feel a little bit more comfortable even with the left-hander on the mound. The 0-2, he holds up, and Antunez just fought it off.
Yeah, getting Antunez is in an 0-2 count here, so he's swinging to protect. But that curveball kind of brings me back to what we saw from Ralphie Velasquez, where he struck out on a curveball he wasn't ready for in a 3-2 count. If you're the Hillcats now, you've got to be ready for him to throw that curve in any count.
Up and away, 1 ball, 2 strikes. You're exactly right. He's so comfortable throwing that pitch that you have to be looking for it, not just in 0-2, but in 3-2 or even in 3-0. 2-strike pitch. Runner takes off. It's a breaking ball that Antunez demolished. Pretty sure that ball landed in Amherst.
Well, there it was right there. And you're right. He's so comfortable, casual with his usage of that curveball. He throws it so frequently. He's left it up, though, like we just saw. He's left it up in the zone ready to hit. So if you're teed up on it,
out away. Churio will have to return back to first. But you're right. If you're teed up on it and you're able to wait back on it,
could hit it a long ways.
That baseball may never be found. It could be dented.
Especially with Antunez up.
He's a free swinger. Runner holds this time, and it runs in. And Antunez saying it hit him. And the home plate umpire saying, no, it didn't. Now Jordan Smith saying, what are you talking about? Antunez immediately grabbed his arm. It wasn't like he was playing it off.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing you could do here, if you're the home plate umpire, Pettis, is go over to your crewmate and ask, hey, did you see contact there? Which is what he's going to do. And I don't think that ball hit Antunez. It might have got his sleeve and I missed it, but I think Antunez was trying to get a free base in a 2-strike count, which I completely agree with and think he should do. But I think this is going to end up with Antunez staying put at home.
Well, now they're going to go over toward the Salem dugout and bring Liam Carroll out.
Huh?
I didn't realize this was a court case where you have to hear both sides of the argument. They have yet to really make any sort of decision.
I don't even know how Liam Carroll knew it was his time to go out. Because in that situation, you would not expect them to go to the other manager. You would think they would just make the decision by themselves, confer, come to an agreement, and then make the call. But instead, they immediately turned to the Salem dugout.
Liam Carroll is heated. They didn't even make a decision. They never signaled anything. And Liam Carroll, oh, we're going to get a show. He's going behind the catcher. Now he's going out into the field. He's pointing out every single spot that the umpires had a vision for where that pitch was. He's going to get his money's worth on this argument. Right now he's in the face of Zach Hovick. The umpires never signaled hit by pitch.
I didn't know that they changed their ruling. I mean, I guess that's what they did, is they called him over to tell him the new news, but they didn't tell us or anyone in the ballpark that a new decision was made. Carroll's not happy.
And understandably so.
Yeah, I get it.
I was hoping we're going to see some dust kicked over home plate or get a good old-fashioned ejection. Who's the guy back with the Braves? It's Bobby Cox.
Yeah.
Who just, every time he would get ejected, would put on an outstanding show. I thought that's what we were about to get.
Got half of it.
If my memory serves me correct, Liam Carroll was ejected the last time Salem was in town.
I think you're right. Yeah. I think that's right, because we saw the bench coach, Ozzy Chavez, do the base coaching, which Liam Carroll usually only has one guy out there unless a runner gets to third base, or even, honestly, he might still sometimes just stick with one base coach out there in those situations. And yeah, you're right. I remember Liam Carroll not being there for the majority of the game. That's off the base.
Hits off third base. They're going to keep everybody one base further, as sometimes better lucky than good if you're Juan Benjamin, as he picks up a base hit. Though that may have hurt him hitting first base. Instead of scoring a run, the bases are now loaded.
Bases are loaded for Rafael Ramirez Jr., and this is the guy I want to see up in this spot, just because I want to see what he can do. He's been hitting the ball hard over the last 5 games or so. He had a home run against Carolina just 1 game ago. Got a double already today. Now the bases are juiced for a prospect, top prospect, who's young, but has been seeing the ball really well lately and looks like a whole new player from what we saw earlier in the season.
He's down in the count 0-1. It's a big breaking ball missed up and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. And I can confirm, I did my digging, and Liam Carroll was ejected in game 1 of that series.
Wow.
So almost a spitting image, and it happened in the 6th inning of that ball game. We're in game 1 of this series, and he's already lost friendships with the umpires. Driven into center field, he'll hang up long enough for Tucker to make the grab. They'll throw to third as Churio tags and scores to make it a 5-3 ball game.
I mean, look at that swing. Pure. Right up the middle. Perfect. Couldn't draw it up too much better. I mean, he's impressed me a lot since he's came back from injury. He had the error today at shortstop, but he's looked better in the field. And at the plate, you're starting to see why. Okay, this guy turned a lot of heads in spring training, and before that, heading up into Lynchburg. He's got a smooth stroke at the plate.
It just took confidence. Now, if he can start finding some grass a little bit more often, I think that's really going to help raise that confidence level even more. His swing is leveled out. He was swinging a big uppercut early in the season. But now it's leveled out, and you want him to start finding that grass. But sometimes that's not a matter of anything more than it is luck. That one will find grass over the leaping glove of Zonatello. Single for Lopez keeps the line moving and loads up the bases yet again, this time for Jose Pastrana. And in case you were curious, the game that Liam Carroll was ejected in game 1 of the last time they were here, Jose Pastrana hit his only home run of the season, the 2-run walk-off home run in the 10th inning.
Yes, he did. It was quite a scene here in the Bank of the James Stadium. He'll bat with the bases loaded. Lynchburg putting a hurting on Sandstone, which not many teams besides the Hillcats have been able to say this season.
First pitch swinging for strike 1. Exactly right. But the Hillcats didn't do it the last time until the 10th inning. The 0-1. Swung out and missed. Strike 2.
You know, Jason, it's days like this where I look at this Hillcats team and I feel like we've got something pretty special. I mean, every single player in this order has been impactful today. 1 through 9. They've either gotten on, moved someone over, knocked in a run. It's just such a deep team. We've continued to say that, but I think it's really on display today.
2-strike pitch in the dirt. Good block by McIlvaney. Otherwise, that would have extended the Hillcats' lead even further. They're already up by 2, 5-3, bottom of the 7th inning. That would have scored at least one more and doubled what Salem has. 1-2 on Jose Pastrana. Sansone looking for the put-away pitch. Didn't find it there as he sailed it high with a 116-mile-an-hour fastball. I think the radar gun's a little bit hot there. Otherwise, that's a new world record. The 2-2. Breaking ball missed upstairs. 3-2. Minus, of course, the infamous Sports Illustrated article on April Fool's Day, where the guy threw, 168 miles per hour.
Pretty fast.
And he was a top prospect, but decided to give up baseball to play the French horn. The 3-2. Skied left field, not very deep. Taylor will settle in underneath it and make the grab. They're not going to try his arm. This one a better throw than we've seen from him today. Everyone will stay put on the pop-out. Luis Durango tried to add a few more insurance runs here as out comes the pitching coach Juan Rivera to talk with Sansone. I don't see any action building right now, so this might be a conversation on approach. And maybe Salem is thinking squeeze play.
Yeah, I was going to say with Durango up, you got options about how creative you want to take this at bat. That speed opens up a world of possibilities where if you want to get creative and force a Salem infield, which has looked sketchy to say the least today, to make a play on you, especially against Durango. I mean, you go back to the fielder's choice in the 6th or the fielder's choice in the 2nd, both times it was a bang-bang play at first. One ruled in Durango's favor, the other not so much to the dismay of Jordan Smith. So you've already had to make this infield work every time they've tried to get him out. Might want to get creative and try to do something like that once again, because who knows? One errant throw and the Hillcats are running for days.
Well, Sansone was on the mound the last time Durango laid one down. Could we see it again here? Might be worth considering. Infield pulled back on the right-hand side. Durango grounds it up the middle into center field. That'll score one. Here comes the second runner around. Tucker will go to third, and Durango blows it open. A 2-run single in the 7th, and it's 7-3 Lynchburg.
No, Jason, I was going to say, my only advice to Luis Durango in this spot was don't give up on a curveball. Don't see a curveball and let it by, because Sansone's going to it time and time again, and he's leaving them up in the zone. That one was middle. And Durango stayed back on it, sat on that curveball, and punched it right back up the middle. It was a beautiful piece of hitting, a beautiful piece of adjustment, of seeing what he's done to hitters previous and changing your game plan. It worked beautifully.
It was a great approach to the plate by Luis Durango, and he finally gets in the hit column. As that one runs up and in on Tommy Hawk, he flinches back just like a boxer in training. For ball 1.
Tommy Hawk on an 18-game on-base streak. He's the only Hillcat to not reach base safely today.
He does have a sacrifice fly, though, as he grounds that one foul. 1-1. There was that curveball again from Sansone. It's got a lot of spin on it. Even just the way that Tommy Hawk made contact with it, the way it came off the bat. You just see how many RPMs are on that baseball. 1-1. Goes off speed again, strike 2. Oh, excuse me, ball 2. I thought that was right at the knees. That's why you can never take your eyes off the action. The 2-1. That one, I called strike 2-2. He went back to the curveball. Got the call. Runners at first and second, 2 down, 7-3 lead for the Hillcats. The 2-2 from Sansone. Fouled away by Tommy Hawk, and he stays alive.
He sped that breaking ball up at 76. You could tell it had more tight late break opposed to the looping 73-mile-an-hour curveballs we've accustomed to see from Sansone. Good work from Tommy Hawk just to foul it off.
Here's the 2-2. Up and away, full count. See who the Hillcats will bring out of their pen to try to shut the door with a 4-run lead. The final 2 innings, assuming Artiles' day is done.
Activity in both pens now, too.
The payoff pitch from Sansone. Hawk grounds it toward third. Backhanded play by Anderson across the diamond, and it's in and out of the glove of Brannon. And now they have Benjamin in a rundown. Jimmy Durango in a rundown. He'll get tagged out, and the inning comes to a close. Well, you said earlier you're glad you're not the scorekeeper.
I know.
Not only do you have to determine if that's a hit or an error, and you have to figure out who caught the baseball there. And that's always sometimes more difficult, trying to track where the ball goes across the diamond. Anyways, Lynchburg puts a crooked number on the board in the bottom half of the 7th inning. They lead 7-3. We head to the 8th. Lynchburg Hillcats Radio Network.
The YMCA has been serving Lynchburg and the surrounding community for years. With 2 Central Virginia locations, the YMCA has plenty to offer for kids and adults alike. To join or check out one of the classes, camps, or programs offered by the Y, visit ymcacva.org or stop in at their downtown or Jamerson locations. The YMCA is a proud partner of Lynchburg Hillcats baseball.
Are you a fan of fireworks or collecting sports memorabilia? Or maybe instead of the bar, you want to spend your nights at the ballpark? Whatever your passion, the Lynchburg Hillcats have a mini-plan package for you. Make sure to secure your tickets for every Thirsty Thursday, Freebie Friday, or fireworks show Saturday with one of our dated mini plans. Craving more baseball? Sign up for our 30-game mini plan. Not sure what games you want to go to? The Hillcats offer undated mini plans as well. For more information and to purchase your 2024 mini plan, visit lynchburg-hillcats.com.
Alongside Connor Young, here's the voice of Lynchburg Hillcats baseball, Jason Prill.
Wardkellen Vasquez will be the new pitcher on the bump for Lynchburg. Wardkellen Vasquez, he's had an up and down season. And over the last few weeks, really a month or so, he had been a late game 9th inning in a blowout type game type role. 1 inning is what we had seen him at home for a long time. But tonight, they're going to try to get Wardkellen to go 2 innings. Lynchburg leads it by 4.
Vasquez, he had his best game of the season, and it's not close in his last outing against Carolina. He went 4 1/3 innings strong, his longest outing of the year, picking up his 2nd win of 2024. He struck out 5, walked just 1, and gave up 3 hits.
Well, there's hit number 1 as De Leon takes him opposite field. That was the Wardkellen Vasquez that we saw last year at the start of the season when he won Pitcher of the Week in the Carolina League. As Albert Feliz will step in. 1,018 on hand for tonight's contest on a Monday night, something we don't see very often. Honestly, the first Monday I've had to work since I started with the Lynchburg Hillcats in their first strike, 0-1 to Albert Feliz. Kind of like it, Connor.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Mondays aren't bad. Everyone complains about Mondays, but having baseball on Mondays makes it a little bit easier. The 0-1. Swung on and missed, strike 2. But you have to wonder, at what point in this series will all the travel that the Hillcats have had to do over the last few weeks, when will that catch up to them and not having the off day today? You said that this probably benefits Lynchburg in finally coming home as Feliz swings through it for out number 1 in the dirt. And Daniel McElvaney will dig in. But this is a team that was on the road for 2 weeks. They were in Charleston for week 1.
Yep.
In Zebulon, North Carolina, which is about 2.5, 3 hours away. That's where I drove from this morning to get back to Lynchburg. And I mean, that's not an easy trek necessarily. As that misses in tight for ball 1. It's not a hard trek by any means, but it's still a decent amount of travel. I mean,
Sure.
I'm tired right now, so you can imagine that the team, after playing a game yesterday afternoon and then not having a rest day today, that's going to catch up with you at some point in time. That misses upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, they're certainly going to be looking forward to that break coming up soon because you're right. They're going to be run ragged after all these consecutive games. You know, you got the road trip, but then you get the back-to-back-to-back with no break in between on Monday like they normally have. That's tough.
For them, they're probably counting their blessings, knowing that they have 2 days off at the end of this series and then the full All-Star break after that.
Right.
So you'll be playing about 7 games in 14 days if you do the math. The 3-0 to McIlvaney misses out wide for ball 4. So the first 2 base runners get aboard here in the 8th inning. Now, I would argue that a travel experience could always be worse. Could have a Pomeranian sitting next to you on a flight that keeps spitting on you all 2 hours of your flight, like I did this past weekend.
I was going to say, that sounds like a personal
Yeah, very
experience.
specific reference here. But who? A Pomeranian?
Yeah.
There's no reason. He was spitting on me the whole time. Just looking like a spitball pitcher out there. Just right into my arm. It happened like 5 times, too. I don't care. I mean, it's a bound vision now, so I feel like I can get away with ranting about this for a second. I don't care that you bring your dog or an animal on the flight. That's fine. I'm a dog person. But if your dog is going to be spitting on me...
It's a spitter.
No. No. I was so infuriated. I mean, it was midnight, and this dog's just going over right onto my arm, and I'm like, dog, just cut it out. In there for a strike to Stanley Tucker for strike 1. You just never know what you're going to... I mean, it's a cheap flight. You never know what you're going to see on a cheap flight.
Spitting dog. Didn't have that on my bingo card. I'm sure you didn't either.
If anyone is still tuned into the broadcast, they're probably like, what is going on? Welcome to baseball, folks. If that's fouled away for strike 2, we can talk about whatever we want up in here. Just so happens today to be a spitting dog.
Spitting Pomeranian.
That sounds like a...
Band name? That's what I thought.
Spitting Pomeranian.
Not bad band name, honestly.
No, it sounds like a punk rock from the early 2000s. Downstairs, 1 ball, 2 strikes, but I would have been more entertained if that spitting Pomeranian had been singing punk rock rather than just spitting saliva all over me. Whew, gone off the rails here in the 8th inning. 1-2 on Stanley Tucker, 2 aboard, 1 away, 4-run ball game. Stanley Tucker's reached base every time he's been to the plate today. A 1-2 from Vasquez. And Tucker, I don't know how he got on top of that baseball.
The fact that he managed to shoot that straight back down to the earth is pretty impressive because that was at his eyes.
Yeah. That looked like he was more casting a fishing rod out there.
Yeah. And it was outside, too. At 94, no less.
1-2. I'll throw back almost into center field. Benjamin able to snag it. Well, big moment here, top of the 8th inning. Tying run waits on deck. The 1-2. Spit on it. And Tucker goes down looking. Tucker decided to lay off a big sweeping curveball, and that wrapped right around the corner of the plate. And there's 2 down as Nazan Zanatello will step in to try and keep this inning alive and cut the deficit a little bit, get some of those runs back that they gave up in the bottom half of the 7th inning. In there for a called strike, 0-1.
See the curveball On the put-away pitch to Tucker, then the slider to lead off Donatello. That's one of the things about Vasquez you have to like. He may be a reliever, but he's got a starter's pitch mix. Fastball, changeup, slider, and curveball. 2 breaking pitches, along with the off-speed changeup. And then the fastball, he can work up to 96.
The 0-1. Bounced it in there, and it gets away from Lopez. Everybody will move up 90 feet, but that's as far as they'll get. Lopez couldn't smother it. Donatello struck out in his last at-bat, but he reached every time prior, though. Only 2 for 4 because one of those times is the lone error given up by Lynchburg. Here's the 1-1 from Vasquez. Down below the knees, 2 balls and a strike.
Even on the error for Donatello, of course, he still reached, as you noted. He also drove in a run. He's been good. We didn't see this type of production from him last time Salem came to the Hill City.
The 2-1. Not sure where it missed, but it did. 3 balls and a strike. Donatello, a good eye. If he gets aboard, that'll bring up Antonio Anderson as the tying runner. Runners at second and third, 2 down, top of the 8th inning. We were talking about spitting Pomeranians. Salem was working on getting back into it. Almost into center field by Vasquez.
Looking around the Carolina League real quick. Fredericksburg, Delmarva, they're top 9. And the Fred Nats are throwing a no-no against the Shorebirds. Very close to a full complete no-hitter in the Carolina League.
The 3-1. Line drive into right center field. That'll score 2, as that'll be cut off before the wall. Donatello heading towards second. He slides in safely, and Salem is not done yet. Donatello delivers, and it's a 2-run ball game, and Antonio Anderson now represents that tying run.
Make it 4 RBIs in game 1 for Donatello. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all for the shortstop, who came in with what I want to say was around 12 RBIs on the season. Comes in, he had 22. So 10 rather. Sorry, there we go. Getting my columns mixed up. So yeah, almost halfway to his season total coming into today in just 1 game.
And for Vasquez, coming off of his best outing of the season, things are unraveling for him a little bit in the top of the 6th inning. He's got to get Anderson here. The 0-1. Big swing and a miss, strike 2.
Now you can do anything if you're Vasquez. You've got so many options and a lot of pitches to work with. It's a good spot to be.
And I don't want to speak any trouble over the Hillcats, but Nellie Taylor's coming up, and he caused some problems for them the last time. The 0-2, a little below the knees, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Definitely want to avoid Taylor. Sorry, Jason, but at the same time for Anderson, he's a tough guy to get to chase. He got 47 walks on the season. Good for 3rd in the Carolina League. He does lead Salem in strikeouts, but he does play a lot, so some of that comes with the territory.
Ground ball, foul, first base side. Going back to Taylor. He had 2 home runs in the last series against Lynchburg. Both of them were game-tying shots. He just tore through the Hillcats pitching staff, specifically their bullpen. The 1-2 to Anderson. Tipped in and out of the glove. Lopez just couldn't squeeze it.
Thought he had it.
Anderson thought he did too, as he kind of looked back and tilted his head. The inning stays alive for another pitch. Runner on second, 2-run ball game. Lynchburg in front, 7-5. Top of the 8th inning, Vasquez Fires. In the dirt, that gets away from Lopez and goes into the dugout. The runner will score. Oh, he has to go back. I thought they were going to give him home plate.
Me too. I thought that was going to be quite the unfortunate turn. But I think because Zanatello hadn't reached third yet by the time that ball was in the dugout, he stayed at third.
Otherwise, that could have been problematic.
Good thing Liam Carroll's not out here, though. He might not have liked that.
He's already been ejected. The 2-2. In and out of the glove again of Lopez. He screams at his mitt in frustration. The runner at third is inconsequential except for the batter. Anderson, the tying run. You can play baseball without anybody in the box. That runner would not matter at all, but that's just not possible. The 2-2. Good job by Anderson just to get a piece of it to stay alive. And we're approaching longest game of the season territory. We're at 3 hours already, and we're in the top of the 8th inning. And there's still a lot of baseball left to be played. The 2-2 from Vasquez. Didn't get the call. Right at the knees. And it just missed, says the home plate umpire. Larry Pettis. Lynchburg has not been a fan of the strike zone at all today. Now a full count to Antonio Anderson. Vasquez closing in on 30 pitches in the inning. Here's the payoff. Got him! He finally gets him, and the inning is over. But 2 runs come home on the Zanatello 2 RBI double. The end of the bottom half of the 8th, Lynchburg trying to tack on a few more insurance runs. And we come back at Lynchburg Hillcats Radio Network.
Wondering how to buy tickets to minor league baseball games? Look no further than the Bally Live app. Download Bally Live today and you can buy tickets to your favorite minor league baseball games and watch in person. Can't make it to the ballpark? We got you. Watch every minor league baseball game for free on the Bally Live app all season long. Pick your favorite team, track stats, chat with friends, and earn rewards in the Game Center. Download Bally Live from the app or Play Store today.
We get it. Finding activities for groups can be difficult. The Lynchburg Hillcats want to make your life easier with our special group outings packages. No matter your group, spend the night out at the ballpark enjoying baseball with your favorite people. All group ticket packages come with discounted tickets, a PA and video board welcome, and the possibility for first pitches and on-field activities. Want to make the night extra special? Sign up for a group picnic and let the Hillcats take care of the details. For more information on groups or picnics, visit lynchburg-hillcats.com.
You're listening to Hillcats Baseball on the Lynchburg Hillcats Radio Network.
Luis Talavera will be the new pitcher on the bump for Salem in the bottom half of the 8th inning. It'll be Velasquez, Churio, and Antunes. As Talavera on the season, okay numbers. He hasn't pitched much this year. In limited action, he's given up 2 earned runs in 3 1/3 innings. 1 strikeout, 2 walks. So they'd like him to get a little bit more underneath his belt. As that's lined into left center field, a base hit for Ralphie Velasquez. He picks up his second single. Lynchburg leading it 7-5.
You'd love some insurance, though. You want to make it as easy as you can on whoever approaches the top of the 9th. It could be Vasquez. He went for 4 innings plus in his last outing, but after the showing they saw last inning, Jordan Smith might want to go to the bullpen, or you might want to save some arms for later in the series and trust Vasquez to stick it out. Either way, you would love to put a couple on the board here to help out the relievers.
In there for a strike to Jason Churio. Churio has reached all 4 times. He's walked 3 times and also has a single today. 3 walks. See if he can tack on another. Velasquez, he has a stolen base already today. He's at first. Wrapped it around the outside edge for strike 2.
You love the patience. You love the approach you've seen from Churio all year long. One thing you'd like to see back, some of the pop. We haven't seen a Churio home run in a long time. Even the extra base hits haven't really racked up as much as you would like for Churio this year. He's got 23, which, for example, other guys that have played far less than him have almost gotten up to that same mark. Guys like Wilfredo Antunez, who has gotten his fair share of playing time, sure, but not to the extent that Churio has. Slugging percentage for Churio under 400. It's the first time it's been under 400 in a while.
The 2-strike pitch. Leans him back, 1-2. Runner on first is Velasquez. The 1-2. Missing high and wide. Talavera couldn't find the zone. 2-2. This is his 3rd season in Salem. Last year he made 28 appearances for the Red Sox. But finds himself back here yet again. Runner takes off and it's fouled back to the screen as Churio stays alive, and that's something he does very well. Extend at bats and work deep into counts.
Absolutely. It's a tough out. I say that about a lot of guys, but for Churio, it's certainly true. Just feel like you got to grind and give everything you got.
The 2-2 up high. 3-2.
Great at bat. Take it from 0-2. Foul good pitchers off. Lay off on balls. Bring it back all the way full.
The payoff pitch to Churio. High and wide, ball 4. Great at bat by Jason Churio. His 4th walk of the day. How about that? He now breaks his own record for most walks in a game for this season. He had 3 earlier this year in a game. Today he has 4. As Wilfredo Antunez will step in with nobody out and 2 aboard. That missed inside.
Antunez on a 5-game hit streak, in danger of that streak being snapped, although he has reached base 3 separate times today. 2 walks and a hit by pitch.
Little out wide, 2 balls and no strikes. Antunez. That was a controversial hit by pitch that he had. Got Liam Carroll ejected last inning. That feels like ages ago as that one runs inside. 3 balls and no strikes. And Talavera struggling with his command.
The no-hitter in Fredericksburg has been snapped. Delmarva scored a run and gotten a couple of hits along with it. Thought I'd update us on that. Didn't get out of the top of the 9th. Man, oh, so close so far.
3-0. That one finds the zone 3-1. How about this, though? Lynchburg this season, 2 of their top 4 longest games and 4 of their top 10 longest games have all come against Salem. Antunez pops it up on the infield. Infield fly rule is in effect. The third baseman will glove it, and there's 1 away.
Yeah, that is interesting. I mean, we played him a whole heck of a lot, I'll tell you that. 12 times, today being the 13th. And a fair amount of them have been pretty close games that have gone the distance, if not then some, going into extra innings. So it doesn't exactly surprise me in that respect, but when you actually break it down, yeah, the numbers pretty impressive. These 2 teams certainly know each other pretty well at this point in the year.
Ground ball toward first and just over the bag. as it's a fair ball. And there's 2 down. Benjamin's retired. Brannon stepped on the bag. Everybody else moves up 90 feet. Never mind, it was a very late foul call.
Yeah, that's... Huh. Maybe I gave up on that play. But that looks fair down the line to me. Not too much of a complaint from the Red Sox dugout, rather.
They don't have a manager right now.
True.
Swing and a miss, strike 2.
Huh.
You know, now you gotta... This is why you don't write in pen in a scorebook. Oh, well. 0-2 on Juan Benjamin. As that's driven up the middle for a base hit. Velasquez being waved around. He will come in to score. As the throw will hold Benjamin at first and Churio at third. If they get a run back that they lost in the top half of the frame, and 2 RBI day for Juan Benjamin.
He's got a knack for hitting with runners in scoring position. I talked about it. He has the second best runners in scoring position batting average on the team, just behind Jason Churio, who's hitting with runners in scoring position at almost a record-breaking mark. 397 average for Churio, and Benjamin honestly not that far behind him in the mid-300s, and you see why. Once again, grinds in another run, and that's a big one. Gives the Hillcats a 3-run cushion, and he'll take second just as fast.
Picks up the stolen base. My scorebook in that box is no longer legible. Infield will now be pulled in with only 1 away. 8-5, Lynchburg leads it. Talavera trying to get out of this inning. He's still got some work to do as there's only 1 down, and that missed out wide to Rafael Ramirez. Ramirez in his last plate appearance had a nice, easy line drive sacrifice fly. As part of that 3-run 7th inning. Caught the zone there, 1-2. Talavera comes set. Pitch in the dirt. Ramirez thinks it hit him. Didn't sell it as good as Antunes did.
If he got that one, Liam Carroll was going to be heading out of the locker room back onto the field. Having a field day out here. Probably bring some props with him, throw them around.
I'd pay to see that.
Yeah.
That's worth the price of admission. Line drive up the middle, a base hit. Ramirez will drive home 2. Another beautiful swing for Rafael Ramirez Jr. He picks up RBIs 13 and 14 and almost took Talavera with him.
The other day, when the Hillcats were home, so a couple weeks ago now, it's another day like this where everyone was hitting, runs were flying up on the scoreboard. It was against Augusta. Christian Knapchick was pulled aside, the Hillcat hero, in the post-game interview, and he talked about hitting is contagious. And you'll hear players say that, where for whatever reason, when the lineup's going, you feel it up and down. Where every single time it's a race to the bat rack, and today hitting has been contagious. I mean, every single player in this order has gotten on base, has been productive in the way of scoring runs. I mean, so many guys in the middle of this order have RBIs today. I mean, it really has been a team effort.
Only one player does not have a hit, and that's Wilfredo Antunes.
And he's reached just about every time he's gotten on.
3 times he's been hit by a pitch. That hit by a pitch came in a 2-strike count. Nonetheless, Lopez trying to see how far he could test the Hillcats' luck in this inning as he goes for the check swing. Fouls it back for strike 1. Lynchburg now leads it 10-5. Broken bat and out of play. At least I thought it broke the bat, but maybe it didn't splinter it.
Not only is this great for insurance, of course, having that 5-run cushion heading in the top of the ninth is huge. It also pretty much ensures, I would say, Ward Quillen Vasquez can take the top of the ninth, save another arm for Jordan Smith for later in the week. That's big to be able to conserve another bullpen arm. It's, especially when you've been going as strong as they have. Man, that's valuable.
Preserve the bullpen when they don't have an off day to regroup. The 2-strike pitch, broken bat.
I think you were right the first time.
I think so. I'm not as dumb as I think I am.
That thing exploded.
And I said that exactly how I meant to. That was quite impressive. That just split right down the middle. I thought that bat broke. Could just hear it. There's a sound when a bat breaks, even if it just splinters. But it just sounds a little bit different.
That didn't get him on the handle. That was barrel, and it broke in half.
The 2-strike pitch. High and wide, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner takes off, and it misses in tight. They won't even throw down to try to get in here. How about that? You think McIlvaney's struggling with his confidence behind the plate right now?
Yeah, Benjamin stole a base on him. Granted, that was in a 1st and 3rd situation, which I think McIlvaney's learned. Probably not worth risking. But there, Rafael Ramirez Jr., of course, no runner in front of him. Just a clean steal of second with no throw.
Here's the 2-2. From Talavera, who's reeling in this inning. Slow topper over toward first. It's going to be a tough play. They'll flip it to the pitcher in a collision at first base, a very light collision, as Talavera got caught in front of the bag looking for it, and Lopez ran right through him. 2 away, though.
Yeah, that was pretty kind of Lopez, in my opinion. I think some other players might have just run right through the pitcher. He was clearly in the base path. He got his feet caught up, turning around, trying to receive the throw, and literally with shoulders squared with Lopez coming down the line. And Lopez just nudges past him, pretty much ensuring he'll be out on the play.
Jose Pastrana will step in as he takes one up above the belt for ball 1. I misspoke earlier. I said that Antunes was the only one without a base hit. Pastrana does not have one either, but he has reached twice via the walk. That one fouled back to the screen, 1-1. So Ramirez now 90 feet away at third base. Lynchburg leading it by 5. The 1-1. A half-hearted attempt for strike 2.
I feel like we see a lot of those from Pastrana. I know he's had a swing like that earlier today, where it seems like he's fighting it all the way through.
Just shows how much this game is reflexes sometimes.
Yeah.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Grounder over towards second, scooped by De Leon, and on to first, and the inning is over. 4-3 put out, but Lynchburg scores 3. Back-to-back 3-run innings for Lynchburg as they now lead it 10-5. We'll step aside and hear the 9th when we come back at the Lynchburg Hillcats Radio Network.
If you haven't planned that vacation yet, start by checking Lynchburg Regional Airport. With our great round-trip airfares to many popular destinations, flying from Lynchburg is easy and affordable, offering daily departures on American Airlines to Charlotte with connections to over 170 non-stop destinations worldwide. To check airfares and book tickets, visit flylyh.com today and click Book Now. Prices are subject to change without notice, and certain restrictions apply. Advance purchase is required and availability is limited. Your close and convenient connection. Check Lynchburg first.
How do you like to spend your summer nights? At the beach or at the ballpark? Why not both? Join the Lynchburg Hillcats at the Delmarva Shorebirds visit July 9th through the 14th. On Friday, the Lemonadas de Hill City will return with a limited edition Lemonadas-themed Hawaiian shirt. Still not beachy enough for you? Saturday will be a celebration of good times and good vibes with our annual Margaritaville night. Following the game, we'll let our cares blast away with a fireworks show. Get your tickets today at lynchburg-hillcats.com.
Alongside Connor Young, here's the voice of Lynchburg Hillcats baseball, Jason Prill.
Brooks Brannon, Nellie Taylor, and Nathaniel Uton, the 3-2 up for Salem in the 9th inning. But Lynchburg now leads it by 5, 10-5, right here on the Lynchburg Hillcats Radio Network. Don't forget, we'll be back with you tomorrow night, 6:30 p.m., first pitch, as the Red Sox will remain in town for this battle of 460. Only about an hour separating the two ball clubs. One of the closest rivalries in all of minor league baseball. Might be an interesting stat to look up.
Yeah. Rabbit hole to go down.
Who are the two closest located teams in minor league baseball? At least in the same league. Ground ball over towards short. Ramirez will flip on to first. A little low, but Velasquez digs it out. And there's one away. That's my caveat there, as I say minor league teams. Yeah. It has to be in the same league.
Right.
Because you think, I mean, Northeast Ohio, Lake County and Akron are only 30, 40 minutes apart. They're same organization, different league.
Right.
It's popped away for
And even that, I feel like it's pretty... I don't think there's a lot of teams that are like that.
No.
Even in different leagues. I mean, when you have same organization, you might see some centrality and location around that, or at least you would expect to. I feel like it's so difficult when, I don't know, the team that always comes to mind for me being from New England, the Hartford Yard Goats in Hartford, Connecticut, their major league organization is the Colorado Rockies. Like, what are we doing there? How is that even practical?
The 0-2, Taylor turns on it, but not very deep. Middle of the outfield is on Tunez. He makes the grab for out number 1, and Nathaniel Uton represent the final out, or final hope, rather, for Salem. He's 0 for 4. My guess is it has to be somewhere in the Florida State League. That has the two closest teams. I mean, you look at the West League or West Division, as that misses down on the way to Nathaniel Uton. And they're just all right around the city of Tampa. Ground ball over toward first, backhanded by Velasquez. He'll flip to Vasquez, who steps on the bag, and that ends the ball game. 10-5 Hillcat winner. We'll step aside and recap the whole thing when we come back on the Lynchburg Hillcats Radio Network.
The Lynchburg Hillcats are ready for a summer of fun with a fresh slate of weekly promotions for you and your family to enjoy. Every Tuesday, get a free ticket to the next Tuesday home game as part of our 2 for Tuesday promotion. Wednesday is Weenie Wednesday with hot dog deals each week, and Thursday we'll bring back our